I'll be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight the fear when I feel like dying. I'm trying to fly high, but I'm not a pilot, can't deny it. There's some days I feel idiotic, just a product of a system where you're lucky just to make a dollar. That ain't gonna stop me cause my grind's contagious. I'll do what it takes to turn passion to paychecks. And if I go down, I'ma do it on my terms. And every single problem brings a lesson that I learned. The darkest nights, when things seem so broken, it's hard to shine, but I still try. I'll be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight. Be yourself down a lonely road. I try to find my way but don't know where to go. It's hard to see your friends, tell them adios. When you've known them all for like forever, now you're just a ghost. Ain't no way to sugarcoat it, yeah, I feel alone. Been single for a decade, doing me is getting old. I don't pick up when the phone rings, too busy recording. Industry ignores me, but I keep on going. Cause I know you got my back, I got you too. No matter what the situation, we gon' make it through. I'm a fighter, not a quitter. They can say that I'm a sinner cause they love to hate the winner, but I'm never gonna be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight.
News for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers in Sumner County. Aaron Cantrell joins us now from Northfield Church in Gallatin, where a vigil is getting underway.
On day 3 in crews, they have been out all day searching the area, but community members, they felt the need to do something. So they're hosting this prayer vigil, coming together, hoping and praying that he does come home safely. Now, a lot of people want to get out in the community to help search, but first responders say just leave that to them. But this is the best way they can help, by praying. This prayer vigil is getting underway now. Attend events like this, but also keep sharing the poster of Sebastian.
We've also seen many community groups come together to support these officials. Prayer vigils have been held the past 2 nights. The EMA director tells me that today they're asking for residents to check any bodies of water on their property. The Sumner County mayor says they recognize people want to do as much as they can.
At last check, Sebastian has not been seen on any surveillance camera or doorbell video. Neighbors are holding regular vigils for him.
That was the day we had the vigil, and it was interesting because we put out a post on the neighborhood group that we're having a vigil and everybody's invited, but we want it to be just the neighborhood only because we want it to be a private vigil just for our neighborhood and for the family. We were hoping if we made it more personal like that the family would come and they wouldn't be overwhelmed with all this. So Tuesday night we planned the vigil. Went down there, got in a big circle, introducing everybody, and there's neighbors. I don't want to get too personal here. There are neighbors. Actually, we have I think 2, maybe 3 sets of neighbors that are in law enforcement. They're in different counties. One of them is actually a part of Hendersonville Police, and then the other 2 are from other counties. They came to the vigil. And matter of fact, the one that is part of Hendersonville has been in a neighborhood since almost the beginning. Know them very well, good people. And he was down there with a flashlight because we had so many people driving up and down and around and circling and going up and down and circling and coming back and forth. And we're just like, good grief. The Proudfoot sent, I don't know who it was, but they came down and we were all introducing ourselves, and they introduced themselves as aunt and uncle. Apparently, I don't know if it was somebody's brother, or that's what they introduced themselves as. We are, maybe it was Sebastian's aunt and uncle.
Chris and Katie said they were their aunt and uncle.
Well, it wasn't. Chris and Katie didn't come. They sent family members, and when they introduced themselves as we're aunts and uncles. So I guess Sebastian's aunt and uncle.
Why didn't did Seth go?
No.
So no Seth, no Proudfoots. They basically sent their own representatives, family members that claim they ran.
That's correct. Yes.
One more thing first. The very first day, the dogs. You saw dogs out there. You saw.
Oh yes,
did you
absolutely.
See them going a specific direction or area? Did you see them centered around a certain area, or did they pick up any scent?
Okay, so there was no scent that was picked up from their house to anywhere. However, and my kids were with the handler and the canine and actually watched. He followed them all through the construction zone. And one of my kids actually saw one of the dogs take the handler to one of the retention ponds. And not only did he go to the retention pond, he ran to it and jumped in it. And the handler had to go and get him and take him out of the water and then dry him off. And my son looked over at the handler and said, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like that before." He looked at me and said, "He's never done that before." And my son said, "Why did he just jump in that?" He said he was following a scent. And then the other...
On that, did they go in the water? Did they take scuba divers or anything in there?
Supposedly, when I told Seth that when I met him at the most recent vigil, he said they drained the pond twice and nothing.
When you had that neighborhood vigil for Sebastian, were the Proudfoots invited?
Oh yeah, it was all over our Facebook page.
So they knew.
Absolutely. Well, if they were and we had planned it a week before, so it's not like it was last minute, throw it together. It was, a matter of fact, one of the neighbors that helped me organize it, she actually had posted it on her profile, like just on her as a posting, and just said, I'd love to have a vigil. Let me know if anybody is doing one. And I messaged her and said, "Hey, why don't we do this in our neighborhood? That way the family can come as well, and it can just be our private neighbors." And she's like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me." So I put it on the Facebook page as a post. I tagged her in it, and I said, "Hey, this is what's going to happen. This is where we're going to be." And then several people posted asking what time. We kind of kept going back and forth about what day, what time, and whatever. So did we go to their door and knock on their door and personally invite them? No, but we didn't do that with anybody. And we had a big group show up.
And they would have. They knew it. One was existing. Instead, you said they brought two representatives, family members.
That's the other thing is that's the other thing is for a fact they knew because they sent the family.
Yeah. What did the family say? Like who the people that you said that came? Uncle and aunt, right? Uncle and aunt. They said.
Yes.
What did they say anything? Did they talk? They
didn't really talk much. They just kind of stood there and listened to us, introduce ourselves. And we went around the circle. It was quite a big circle. We went around the circle and everybody, said their prayer and whatever. And then afterwards, we just kind of said, "Hey, do you guys need anything?" And we said, do we need food? Can we set up a food train for you? Or, is there, do you need anything? And they both said, "Oh, we've got a lot of support. We're good. We're fine. Don't worry about us. We're good. We got plenty of support."
We're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers, who's been missing for 21 days. And there was a vigil tonight that was held in Clarksville. Somebody did ask me if the parents were planning to go. I guess, the stepdad and the mom. But I am not privy to that information. They may have had other plans. They may not have even known about it. I encourage people, if you're planning a vigil for Sebastian, to reach out to the parents yourself to let them know about it, because they may not be active in some of the groups. I really don't know any information, but maybe Chris will be able to answer that when he comes up. No, this is not the bio dad, although he was invited. Bob, when he joins us, that's when he'll be here. It will probably be sometime after 10. He had a prior engagement. Because I know that, like Chris, that's what he was doing today. They were actually hanging up flyers. They have been on searches and they have been hanging up flyers. So the mom and the stepdad. So in fact, he did that today also. The lab said, did they say why they didn't go to the vigil?
Yes. So somebody asked me that before, and I responded on Facebook, and Okay, so the very first vigil that was going on, and actually, I think I said there was three, and when that actually was four. They did a vigil down here at the stop sign inside of our subdivision. It was inside our neighborhood. Did a small one. At the time, we were still dealing with law enforcement, and we didn't go. Then the Long Hollow Baptist Church down here on Long Hollow Pike, they held one. At the time, we were still with law enforcement answering questions. All three parents were. We did have a representative go and speak on our behalf. The third one, which a young lady organized, and originally they were going to try to do something here in the community without discussing it with us, without talking with anybody. And all the neighbors had a concern because, like I said, it's a small community.
There's no parking.
There was no parking, so we addressed it to go to the high school, which they gladly moved it. But there were some security issues. We got with law enforcement. So the dad did show up. We did not. And then on this last one was up in Clarksville. And that's up in the Clarksville area. You know, that's where dad lives. So, I mean, I think that was put on more for the dad and everything in his community up there, which supports him. Um, but I mean, that answers that question.
Lab said, fair enough. Thanks for answering me. You're welcome, Josh. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it.
Is there a reason like y'all didn't go to the vigil, the one by the high school? Seriously?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So, security reasons. And this is what I'm fixing to tell you is going to spark a whole bunch of stuff in the comments. And I'm not afraid to answer any of this. The young lady who started to organize this vigil never even contacted us. Not one time has any of these vigils taken place as somebody tried to organize them with us as the parents. I think the only one that's been somewhat organized with a parent is the one that was done in Clarksville with Seth. Other than that, the one that was supposed to be out in front of my house was a security issue. My neighborhood said we don't want it here because our roads don't have sidewalks. We don't have easements. Technically, you're not even supposed to park on the street.
Yeah.
We found out about it, and then we found out that they were spreading it all over basically the county and state, and there was like tons and tons of people saying they were going to come, and there's zero parking here. It's not big gathering spot, so we asked for them to move it to the school, which is literally like half a mile from my house, if that.
It's not even that. It's like a quarter mile down the street.
Can accommodate all of the people.
Not only that, but some of the people, like some of the comments and the stuff that's being said. And
I know.
if you're in our shoes, it could be a security reasons, because if somebody shows up acting crazy, you know, that's not kosher. One, it's not coming in our subdivision. I don't want it in front of my house. I don't need thousands of people in front of my house. And compassion is, like I said, in short demand and could be overfloweth with people out there if we could just find a way to become all one united group, and we can just do this. Well, I said it before, when he does come home, you know, and everybody complained to how packed the block was with cop cars. Well, he's now become like the son of Sumner County, so it's going to be a long line.
Why did you really not attend those vigils? 3 vigils.
It's actually 4, and see, that's where you're wrong.
Well, I'm talking about the first 3.
Well, see, now you're saying the first 3. So
stop.
If you're going to talk, make sure you got
deflection.
It's not deflection.
Yes, it is. It's deflection, clearly. Why can't you just answer the questions?
The first 2 vigils,
because I said you could.
I told y'all, it's real simple. The first 2 vigils, we were sitting here with law enforcement in the house.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Law enforcement. The next was what?
The third one.
Second.
Actually, I'm explaining to you all 4 vigils.
I'm talking about the first, second, and third.
Okay, the first and second one. First one was when day 1, day 2, right here at Stafford and Kellen. We still had law enforcement in the house.
Okay.
Second one, we still had law enforcement here at the house.
Okay. What? Okay. If you're not okay, what does that matter? So what?
Because you're asking the fucking question.
But my point is, you have law enforcement at your house. Why would you? That's great. I would want them there where you can go to the vigil, right?
No, we couldn't. We could not go to the vigil.
So they
and then on the third one,
you can't go.
Third one.
You can't go. Y'all cannot go to this vigil.
See, this is the problem.
No, it just makes no sense. But anyways, the second one.
I don't need the fucking peanut gallery. You wanted answers. I told
Listen,
you.
Sir, I'm not far from the fucking peanut gallery. Try again.
Then once again,
the second
you
one.
wanted to ask questions. I agreed to answer your questions. I can't answer your questions.
I'll tell you nothing would have stopped me. I would be hollering from the rooftops. Sorry, but anyways, the second.
Okay.
One. But it's not your son. I need to remind myself of that. I'm sorry.
He's my stepson, and I treat him just like he's my son.
Not really, but keep going.
Well, that's what y'all think.
There's no y'all. I'm only one person. I'm one. I'm me.
Exactly.
Next.
So the third vigil, the one that was supposed to be done outside of our house, that my entire neighborhood was like, no, we're not doing that because we don't have a way. If we get all these people here, what if we need emergency vehicles in and out of here? We can't. I said, well, they said, we'll have it moved. Okay, well, we'll reach out.
Bullhorn, she's going to love that neighborhood. Hell, she loves things like this. She lives for it. Didn't y'all? You should have been reading that chat. I told you, read the chat. You didn't listen.
What chat? That's what I'm asking you.
You were just in Smiley's earlier, correct?
And once again, I told you I couldn't see a chat.
That's
what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you're saying read the chat. I couldn't read it.
I would have read it.
Well, could have and can is two totally different things. I literally could not read the chat. And that answer has not changed. I told you that from the beginning. I could not read the chat.
Yes, Seth has blisters. He's working his ass off. That man, to look for his child, he's doing everything. He is not stopping. Period.
Happened tonight. So I was asked tonight to stream the vigil for Sebastian Rogers, and when I got there, this was going on. That's Seth Rogers, and that's Chris Proudfoot. And I saw them talk for quite a while before the vigil started. Now, Chris was not able to stay for the vigil. He had something that he had to do, which is not my business to disclose. But Seth obviously did. But then Seth shared what their discussion was about, and I'm going to show you.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside, help us find our son. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is the goal of this shit. And if you can't get on that, get the fuck.
If everybody could just close your eyes for a second. Just gonna have a moment of solidarity. God said where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he is in the midst of them. God is here. The Holy Spirit is here right now. We're going to close with prayer. As we close in prayer, I ask you to meditate on this family. Meditate on Sebastian. Meditate on Katie Proudfoot. Meditate on Seth Rogers. We want God to bring unity with one accord. this time, we have a student, and she has brought a presentation on behalf of the school.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name's Autumn Hurst, and I'm a student here at Beach High School. I'm a senior this year, and so I am an FFA. I was an FFA officer on our chapter. And Sebastian was actually, sorry, I'm not used to public speaking. But, so as a freshman at Beach High School, you can take a class called AgriScience that introduces you to FFA, which is Future Farmers of America. So even though Sebastian Rogers was not involved in the class physically, he actually was able to complete classes online that he actually was physically able to take. So even though he may not have been in the class itself with my advisor, he was able to complete that online in order to earn a certificate, which is called a green hand degree. So I am here today to actually present that to him, to his dad himself. That way he can know how hard his son has worked this year.
Thank you for all the support.
There you go.
I appreciate everybody's support. Please, people, keep my son in your thoughts and prayers.
Appreciate
Just need to find him. You know, his mama wants him back. I want him back. His family needs him back. Keep your heads up and your eyes open.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. Today is August 17th, 2024, and Sebastian Rogers is still missing. He has been missing for 174 days today. In today's video, we are going over part 4 of Polished Turds, the story of Chris and Katie Proudfoot. And I also added in an evolution of Seth, because we are going to go over all of the vigils, and we are also going to go over kind of how Seth has evolved into the person that we are seeing today. With this being a part 4 episode, I would invite you to go back and watch the first 3 parts. They are quite long, but it'll give you a better idea of kind of what we've been talking about, what we've gone over. I was going to speak more about the home environment that Sebastian came from, and I wanted to go over all of the family dynamics on both sides, but I decided to put this video in as number 4 instead, because I think it followed along a little bit more with what we were speaking about in the previous episodes. Now, we have gone over lies from Chris Proudfoot, lies from Katie Proudfoot. I know that Seth has been dishonest about a couple of things, but from the beginning, we see Seth as someone who has at least been trying. I mean, the first day, the police told him to stay at home and to let them search, and he got into his truck and was yelling out the window and looking for Sebastian, which I think many of us can relate to that. And so when we're seeing how he has been evolving, it's very curious as to what may have happened. Not necessarily the fact that he's grumpier as he goes along, or maybe he has made a couple faux pas where he says something extremely rude to the public, or as we will go over in this video, he did lash out on some of the main players when it came to helping search for Sebastian. As I look back over all of my research from the last nearly 6 months of research and watching and going over these interviews with a fine-tooth comb, I'm noticing that Seth changed his trajectory when Tony came on board. And I know that it doesn't take a whole lot of research to figure that out, especially with, of course, my subscribers. I know all of you have been diligently following this case. And so it doesn't really take a lot of research to figure that out. We see a sudden change. However, when I'm looking back at these vigils, I notice that Seth started this hostility toward the public, toward everyone around him at the vigil that happened on April 20th, 2024. So I do know that Tony Mathis wasn't really on board until around April 27th, 2024, and that's when Web Sleuths did their interview with Chloe PI, and then Chris jumped on, and then Seth jumped in. And so I've included these in the video to come, and I would really love it if you guys would give me some feedback in the comments. But Tony wasn't around back then. The common denominator, in my opinion, is Chris Proudfoot. He came to the vigil on April 20th, 2024. He stopped by and checked on Seth, or at least that's what he claims he was doing, is that he was driving past Beach High School on his way home and he saw Seth with his truck hood open. He came back to the vigil when there were people there, and there weren't very many people who showed up to this vigil, guys, and I'm just going to be honest about that. There was a turnout of about maybe 20, 25 people, maybe, if I'm being generous, 50 people, but it wasn't anything like the ride that they had. And so I don't know if it was more heavily promoted or what have you. Maybe people saw Chris Proudfoot show up and they went home. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I do know is through my research that Chris came to the vigil and seemingly got in Seth's personal bubble. If he came at me like that, I would take it as a threat. But that's just me. I don't know how Seth took it. I don't know what words were exactly spoken. But I do know that Chris Proudfoot doesn't have a way with words. We have seen that in these previous episodes. We will see that in this episode and probably any other episode that I do, because if I add Chris into the equation, it automatically gets hostile. With that being said, when I'm looking at this vigil that they did not show up to, Katie was nowhere to be found. Chris seemed to have been stalking the vigil, in my opinion, showing up 2 times before or right as it was going to take place. I find it to be absolutely disrespectful to Seth, to all of the people that showed up and gave their time and love and care. I find it completely disrespectful to Sebastian as his stepfather. And as for his mother, Katie, I did add my comment in on the vigil video that I just showed. But in my opinion, there would be nothing keeping me from seeing my daughter accomplish something that she worked hard for. It's beyond gratifying to see your child do something that makes them happy, that brings them joy, and that they have a passion for. So you know that when they wake up in the morning, they're going to a place that they enjoy going. Some of us, me having my daughter at 19, I didn't have that luxury every single time. I mean, there's been jobs that I've absolutely loved. I'm so grateful for. Sebastian was 15 years old, so he was in high school. He was working toward becoming an adult, learning life skills to be able to take care of himself. This is something that Seth has talked about frequently in the first interview. As a matter of fact, Chris Proudfoot says that Seth is always preparing Sebastian for life. And that's all we can do as good parents, is help our children understand what they need to do to take care of themselves in life. Life skills, finding a good path in life. And when your kid can find a good path in life, you should be happy as hell. I also think it is awesome that Sebastian is going after what he wants to do. So he's going after his passions in life. And for any of us that are out there, I'm in my 40s, early 40s, and it's hard to do things like that. It's absolutely tough when you put yourself out there and you go to follow your dreams. It's not easy, it's not meant to be, and he definitely earned every bit of that certificate that he was awarded. An admiration for an accomplishment, and especially when it comes to Sebastian. In the intro, I chose the song Born to Fight, and that's the song that I think best describes Sebastian, because no matter what he was hit with in life, since the day he was born, he has fought his way back through it. He keeps fighting. He keeps showing that maybe what his chromosomal deletion syndrome is, what it can produce in his body, or what will happen to him as he gets older and living with this, a pocket of fluid on his brain. He keeps on fighting, and he keeps on showing people that he can do it. I mean, it just goes to show he loves animals. He liked agriculture. So what did he do? He took some ag classes online, which it's not easy to take classes, especially something that's a hands-on online. And so for him to be able to accomplish that is amazing. And I just really wish that Katie could have shared in that joy, and maybe for one moment showed that they really did want to become a united front. Because in my opinion, and you can even check out older videos of mine, I called BS on this situation from the start. I didn't blame Seth, and I still don't, for agreeing to it, for being fooled by these fools, because he wanted to believe that they had their hearts in the right places. And no matter what we do in life, no matter how smart we think we are, there are people out there that are so manipulative that they are able to make us believe that they are good, that they have our best interests at heart, or that they have good intentions, when in reality they're anything but, and their intentions are anything but pure and good. And then, again, on the flip side, we have people who are willing to go the extra mile, people who are willing to show up for us. And the best example that I can show of what a vigil or a prayer vigil is supposed to look like, or does look like, that everybody would know about, or many people would be at the end of the movie Pay It Forward, where all of these people just show up at the home of a mother who just lost her son. He passed away earlier that day, and that evening people came to show love, solidarity, and to let them know that the entire community stood behind them. We see this very often in true crime. We will see people leaving teddy bears, candles. We will see them leaving messages and memorializing people, children who are missing, people who have passed on. And so we see this a lot in true crime. And in this case, it has definitely gotten out of hand. I believe it's gone absolutely bonkers. I don't understand why this child doesn't have this kind of outpouring. There is nothing more beautiful than seeing people come together for a common cause, seeing people come together when another human being is hurting, seeing people come together for the good of humanity. And I think it's the best display of God's love that we can give to each other, is to stand together. It's the best way to show each other that even though this life is so hard, we stand together, and that you don't have to go at it alone. So when Chris goes on and on in these interviews about how it's a security risk, I mean, he comes up with every excuse in the book, but when he goes on and on about all of this, how he doesn't want it in his front yard and all of this nonsense, it really just makes me wonder if he doesn't realize what a vigil is or what a prayer gathering is, or if it's just that he's that much of a Grinch. I mean, what does he do? Kick carolers off his property when they come to his house to Christmas carol? I don't know. There is a very strong possibility that the reason why there isn't such an outpouring is because of Chris Proudfoot. After all, he is a narcissist, and narcissistic personalities are all about themselves. So if it's not about him, he wants nothing to do with it. I have also heard, and this is not 100% verified, but I did hear that he had said somewhere that he and Katie don't show up to vigils because vigils are for the deceased. And I don't believe that to be the case. So that's why I say maybe he doesn't realize what the vigils actually are. But then again, I feel like he does play stupid in many situations so that he can escape responsibility for showing up for Sebastian. Now, I also want to point out that on Queen Bee, Sebastian was talked about by Katie and Chris, and they were talking about the fact that he was active in agriculture and that he wanted to take the classes. He was very excited about them, and that he was interested in agriculture, but they did not mention that he received his green degree. And so I think that is also something that has been a common theme, that they really can never give Sebastian credit where credit is due. Now, before we get into today's video, I wanted to briefly mention that there are some things in the works for Sebastian. So there are some protests planned. I will put the flyer up for the upcoming vigil. They are doing something a little different this time. It is going to be $25 a head. You'll get a t-shirt, you'll get a meal and a bracelet. You'll be able to support Sebastian. One oddity that I noticed is that they are donating proceeds to a pet motel or pet hotel. And I really just think that if they wanted to donate that money to me, I would go ahead and at least donate a portion back to trying to find Sebastian with a reward fund, perhaps. Now, that's strictly my opinion. I just simply wouldn't feel good about taking that money. And perhaps they feel rude by declining an offer like that, but one thing that they could do is just at least donate a portion of it to finding Sebastian. Sebastian is still out there somewhere, and we need to find him. And that's been the sentiment from Seth from day one. He just wants to find his son. And so I can't criticize too many of his decisions when he's trying to donate to a cause that is near and dear to Sebastian's heart. So let's get into today's video. Afterwards, I will be back for a brief commentary. Let's watch.
Everything is on the table. Nothing has been taken off the table, period. That's the same statement law enforcement has made. That's the same statement I'm going to tell you every single day in and day out.
Katie gave my son to your mother and brother. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Say it one more time.
Do you not want to say that? Well, we can move on. So
No. I want to hear it.
There's a rumor out there, Chris,
that
your mom and your dad have Sebastian. It's been brought up to me.
Seth, you know darn good well you got a question about my
I'm just
mother.
asking.
You pick up the
Did they
phone.
take him
And
somewhere
you
to
call.
like a boot camp or anything like that, and Katie just thought I wouldn't accept it?
I don't think
Hold
Seth
on.
is being accusatory. I think he's just trying to clear up a bunch of BS that's been online.
Right, and I'm trying, and I'm telling you, if he's had this suspicion, he's got my mother's phone number. He can pick up the phone and call her. She is not afraid to
No,
answer any
Chris, I'm not
questions.
saying you. I don't want to talk to your mom. I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to Katie.
Well, it's real
And I'm
simple,
just
Seth.
asking to put it to the rest.
You have seen the video footage
of Seth on Sunday. Don't tell me you hadn't. I know you have. You sat in the room with all the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room with law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video, when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday. When you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Sunday, buddy.
Chris, let Seth speak. Go ahead, Seth.
Chris, they showed me video proof of him coming out of Texas Roadhouse on Sunday.
On a Sunday night. You damn right.
Just, Chris.
Seth, I got a problem with you sitting here making these accusations. Because if you got a problem with them, guess what?
Let's squash it.
I think we're just trying to talk things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to my parents, my whole family. Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true.
Chris,
I don't think he said it was true. I think he's just trying to clarify.
That's not clarifying. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not with Katie on Sunday.
That's all I'm doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good and well where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Because all I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you. What I'm trying
and you should, Seth. You should. Because what you're doing is bullshit, and you know it.
Okay, stop. Okay, people are talking over each other. Enough. Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Warsham's and him getting.
Okay, so here's the answer. The final answer to this.
It's not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken about this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement?
This
is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone. Hell, I'll do you one better, and I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not going to have a powwow like that, but I
well, then guess what?
The situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of what is happening right now should not be public.
So explain to me why you don't want Bobby and Carter involved.
I didn't say I didn't want Bobby and Carter involved. I said I was referring to your tone, which is very angry.
Oh, I'm very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel things. In turn, dispelling these things will take some of the BS off of you.
Whoa. That was uncalled for. And Chris, I mean, I do understand your anger, but I know these ladies. I don't know Seth. I just know what I've seen. But these ladies are not full of shit.
I didn't say they're full of shit. I was referring to Seth being full of shit with his comments.
Well, that doesn't help matters.
No, it doesn't. So when you brought him on the show and he wants to start this shit, that isn't going to answer questions. It's going to spiral into the shit that's in. So we can set this shit aside and answer the questions that you got.
Okay. I would like to move on very quickly, but I will say the public opinion is not going to improve unless we can take a deep breath.
That's exactly right.
And I know you are frustrated.
You have no idea what I am.
I'm not saying I know how frustrated you are, but I know you are frustrated. And I'm not saying that's not valid, but this is not helping.
If it's not helping, then you shouldn't be talking about it on social media.
But
as a PI, you should have said, you know what, we're not going to answer that question. We're going to do that privately. That's where that should have went.
I did say that actually several times. And you can listen to that recording later.
So let's move on to the next question.
I just got to say one thing. You want the public's help. You want them to be behind both of you. And
we need them to find Sebastian.
Exactly. And it's a very good chance that somebody in the public will find
that's
him.
my biggest frustration is that we all collectively have to deal with all of this instead of focusing on Sebastian.
Right, and it's a disadvantage to Sebastian. Really, it's sad because we're not any closer to finding him as long as we're all arguing like this.
Yeah. And mods in chat, you're removing these comments, I hope, because I've been removing some too. And we've got extra people, extra mods in chat. Anything rude that said, they're banned, they're gone. Okay. So we'll get them out there as quickly as possible. And let me go through chat really quickly here to get some more questions here. You've been on here for many hours, and I so appreciate this. I really, really do. So,
Can Chris hear me?
yes, he can.
Can you? Well, you can't throw us in a back room. Somebody can talk real quick.
I wish I could. I wish I had that ability, but I don't. I can take you both off, and you can call him. Do you want to do that?
Let's finish this first, and we'll do that after the fact. Let's get these questions out of the way.
Listen, you may not like my opinion, but when we got rumors out there, if you and I squash these rumors, then they stop being rumors, and everybody just looks at the people who are spreading them like they are shit. I was not trying to upset you. I'm trying to squash these stupid rumors that are literally filling up my privatized email address, their inbox, with crap. Which is crap. It's not helping find Sebastian, so if it gets squashed, then people will stop. Not everybody. Lord knows there's still going to be stupid people out there. But it will stop. It will, I mean, literally, it will stop.
My report is real simple, Seth.
Is to find Sebastian, Chris, and there are rumors out there that we have to put an end to. You may not like them, but we have to put them into them publicly. Because right here, we can end rumors. So people know when I told them to fuck off, if they didn't like it, they know that I meant fuck off because they don't like it.
So stop right there, Seth. Stop. Let me help you with something real quick. You want rumors to die? You want to stop with all the stuff that's coming up and flooding these PI's inbox? How many terabytes do you want of videos where you have gone out there and you've said some very harsh things that should never have come out? You never should have. And now don't take this the wrong way. That is a conversation for later.
Here to swing much.
Let me finish.
There are things that I put out there.
Once again, you can't talk to a fucking log.
Okay, wait. Okay,
Chris,
let me finish.
Chris, that's not productive.
It's not. So let me finish. You all are playing one-sided here.
No, we're not.
I don't think that's fair.
So then tell Seth when I'm talking, let me finish.
Okay, Seth, let him finish.
Yes, Seth, please let him finish.
There's conversations you've had that should have never been out in the public light, and you know it. And because you did that, it started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it, and move on from it. I told you on Sunday, I supported you, I would be there for you, no matter what, how ugly this got. But I'm not going to stand by and watch you disrespect me, my family, my wife, or anybody for that matter. A lot of rumors got started because you went on social media and you opened your mouth and said some things you shouldn't have said. Accept it. I'll show you the videos.
You don't need to show me the videos.
Now, in hindsight, that is a conversation you and I need to have offline, away from everybody else, in our own private conversation. You and I, we sit down and we can talk. Literally, please. You had people watch us doing it Sunday at that vigil.
Well,
they were snapping pictures because they were trying to get some juicy information.
Trish,
So
can we move on to the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, there's a question here in chat, and I've heard this, and Chris, this is a good one I'd like to clear up. Okay. Is it true that Chris told Seth, you will find your son at church?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
what he stated was if I went to church, maybe I'd find my son.
So in other words, if you went to church and talked to the Lord, is that what you were saying,
yes,
Chris?
That is what the whole conversation in reference was.
I have a
Not, you go to a church and you'll find it.
Hold on, Seth. I'm sorry, Chris, finish. I'm sorry.
I'm talking because why I understand. I see where people got that.
Right.
But that is a conversation that Seth and I had privately. You know, I'm sorry, but we're not going to sit here and drag certain things into this. It has nothing to do with it. I told Seth, you know, basically we should all go to church. We should pray. That's exactly what it was in reference to.
Understood. Seth, go ahead. It's your turn now.
There's better ways to have said it, Chris.
Okay, and that's
For you
semantics.
to think
Let's
that I
not-
don't go to church.
Seth, I didn't say anything about you not
That's
going to church or
semantics.
going to church. Can we
Is
go
that
to the
what
next
defines
question?
Sebastian?
No, it's not. Can we move to the next question?
All right, thank you.
Okay. How about this? Because you guys have been on here for almost 3 hours, and I really appreciate it. And I do think Chris and Seth need to talk off air. Let's talk about what we do know. We do know, and this is how we started out the live stream. We do know that Sebastian was last seen publicly at Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. We know he was seen on camera taking out the garbage at some point. We know that there is a possibility that the cameras did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian.
Actually, Sebastian.
I'm sorry. What did I say? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Seth, I'm sorry. You're not missing Seth. You're right here. Sebastian.
I'd like to be missing.
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Sebastian was not seen. A possibility that Sebastian was not seen leaving the house because it was too dark. Okay. There were certain scent dogs that hit on Sebastian. There were 3 of them that went down to the retaining pond. According to Chloe, that retaining pond has been searched.
It was actually been drained and it has been walked and searched.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's what we know about that night and the hours before he went missing. I think that's all we know for certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is the next step? Chloe and Heather, I'll go to you two first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you say?
That's okay. I said, what is the next step? What is the next step for you? What is the next step for the public? What would you like us to do? What do you think you guys are going to do?
Well, for us right now, we are really focused on getting Q in. Chloe and I are working on a report and some maps to try to give them an idea of areas that need to be searched or researched. And I think really the next big step is getting us all on the same page and working together.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is a mess right now, I think this is a huge step in that direction. And I'm hoping that, as I said, Chris had called me earlier and just right before the show started, and I messaged Chloe and was kind of talking to her about what you guys were going to talk about, because I wanted to, some of the things that he cleared up with me, I wanted to make sure she was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But, reaching out to me and then reaching out to you guys on the podcast tonight, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. He's angry, but once we get past that, I think maybe we can all work together and start putting our heads together on where we need to look for Sebastian.
Thank you. Very good. Chris, what would you like to see us do? What do you think?
At this point, keep spreading the flyers, keep keeping his name out there in of good graces, not of in a negative light. Spread the words. If you know something, say something. Don't wait 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 weeks. I told Heather the same thing. There's so many tips that come in weeks later instead of the moment that they come in. When you get these tips, you call 911, you call TBI, you don't call these PIs, you don't call Seth, you don't call us, you just call the law enforcement agency. Keep spreading the flyers, spreading the word, prayers. Trust me, keep the prayer warriors out there. We need them.
I agree. And I think, because of all of the noise, people have not been reminded to continuously search their properties. And like I said before, everybody else came on here. There's a lot of really large properties in the area, and the terrain is treacherous in a lot of areas, and things get missed. So I think it's important to center it back to the local level, first of all, because this has become national, and nationally people are giving their opinions. We need the community to come back together and search their acres and acres of property, because I believe he could be very close to home.
Mm-hmm. There you
go.
go.
I will say this much, that everything that she said is exactly the same thing law enforcement's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not comfortable searching, call law enforcement. They, I'm sure, can work in getting a team out there to search the property. Please, everybody that's searching, do not. I can't stress this enough. Please do not just walk on private property without having prior permission. Please.
By the way, there's comments in chat and we're removing them. Chris has been searching. Okay, he has been searching. Just because you don't see him searching, because you personally don't see him, doesn't mean he's not searching. So that needs to stop. Okay, that needs to stop right now. And Seth, what do you feel the final word should be?
I need people to keep the faith. I need people to keep faith that we will find Sebastian. I don't know. I don't know what people's mindset are right now, but it doesn't need to be about me. It doesn't need to be about Chris. It needs to be about Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian is the goal. Sebastian is what is lost. Sebastian is what needs to be found.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's going to be easier for me.
I am so sorry.
My son is missing. I need people to continue with the flyers, as Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
TBI has already stated that most of their tips do come in from flyers. I have
Okay.
I have 100% faith that the humanity still exists out here, that we can come together, heads up, eyes open, see something, say something. Contact FBI, contact TBI, call 911 for your local. Tell them that, you think you just saw the missing child from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Get them on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right? At the same point in time, if you feel that they're not doing it, you just fix it. Law enforcement is short-handed. All it takes for evil things to exist is good men do nothing. And that's good females too. I'm not, it's just for evil to exist and continue is good people don't do nothing.
Right.
Don't fall into the simplicity. On your way to work, on your way to the corner store, on your way to Walmart, you might see my son.
Absolutely
You might
right.
see him, and I need you to say something. I need you to call 911 immediately. If you're not in Sumner County, I need you to call 911. After you call 911, call TBI, so that way they know that 911 has already been called. I have found that law enforcement groups do not communicate with each other, and I don't mean this as a negative, but I mean this as if the Facebook lead came through, and I called Lebanon, which is here in Tennessee, and they didn't even know that my son was missing.
Oh, jeez.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
I will second that with Seth.
So,
there's a lot of people
they
out there
don't communicate.
that don't know locally.
Right. They don't communicate, and they need to. They absolutely need to.
Well, I'm not saying communicating. I'm just agreeing
It's
that he is saying that there's a lot
Not
of
everybody
folks.
gets the information that is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody forgets to do a pass down, and the next officer on duty doesn't get the information that he needs. So he doesn't even know. It's not his fault. The officer before him could have been working a 16, or have even been working more than a 16, which is illegal. But we still have to have law enforcement out there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just need everybody to work together. The rumors are killing it. The rumors are killing people's time. And that's the one thing Sebastian doesn't have.
Right.
So if you've already called TBI with your information, but you think it might be a rumor, if you heard it from Joe Blow down the fucking road, you're not helping find my son. You're part of the problem. People out there listening that are doing the death threats, I will see you at my door. You're going to sit there and pick on people. You're a coward. You are a coward. And if somebody has my son, understand that I love him and I need him back.
Mm-hmm.
I need him back. Not that I want him back. It's I need. Because my life has stopped. Because
Seth.
My son is not here, and I find it hard to function.
Can you ladies get him
a regular life without my son here?
I'm sorry, Chris.
Seth.
What did you say? Go ahead, Chris.
Right. Seth, I know what you're doing and I understand the plea, but hang tight, man. You and I we need to get off this panel. You, me, Katie, PIs need to get on a phone call.
Absolutely.
Not on here. Our message is simple. Find Sebastian, you see it, you say something, you call it in. Don't wait. Don't go down this track, man. Don't. I'm looking out for you. Don't.
Can I just say one thing? I don't want to ever discourage people from reaching out with information that they think might be pertinent. Now, getting the same tip 100 times from everybody on social media, just sending the screenshot, did you see this? And we've already seen it 500 times. I mean, that's a little excessive, but I don't ever want people to think like, oh, this might not be important, because that might be the one tip that actually was important.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different message to send. I don't want anybody to feel discouraged. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to ABI. Do not keep anything silent because you don't think it's
Absolutely.
important.
And I wanted to reiterate, like I get a ton of messages, and even if I do not respond to you, that doesn't mean I haven't looked at it, and that doesn't mean I'm not looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
So please, I mean, I get them on Twitter, I get them on Facebook, I get them in my emails. If I don't respond, it's not because I'm ignoring you. We are vetting things that we know are probably nothing.
Right.
But we're still vetting them.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's regardless of how everybody out there feels about me personally, regardless. Let me help everybody with something, and this might help you understand where we're all standing. There are some folks out there that have children, and I would like for you to take your step back, and you can go look at your children. You get to look at them, you get to hold them, you get to hug them, you get to give them kisses every night, you get to say I love you, and all the fun jazz that you get to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there are 3 parents that cannot do that right now to one child. One. Regardless of how you feel about me, because I can tell you now, I'm not the most liked person in the world, and I'm perfectly okay to accept that. But if your heart's in the right place and you're doing this for the right reasons, it's not about me, it's not about Seth, this ain't about Katie, this is about 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, our son. And all I'm asking for y'all is to please tone everything down, focus on the positive, keep pushing the message out there. And trust me, when we find Sebastian, when he comes home, let the party begin. But that's all we're going to ask of y'all is please just keep spreading the word and be supportive and just keep pushing Sebastian. That's all we're going to ask.
Thank you. Seth, any final words?
No.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for coming tonight. I apologize for the rude comments in chat. Our mods were deleting them as quickly as possible. Those people disgust me. They're not welcome here. And
Thank you so much, Trish. If this had to happen publicly as it did, I'm really glad it happened here.
Well, and again, we'll do anything we can to help, and anything we can do to facilitate the talking. We don't need to do anything publicly. We'll help any way we can privately, and we won't say a word. So anything you need, we are here. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Katie claims the night of the 25th that Sebastian takes the trash out after they arrived home from going out to dinner. Go ahead.
There's no specific footage of that. The neighbor that has the Ring door camera that saw that, she said to me on the phone that the only thing you can see is a silhouette. She said you cannot see a physical person. There is absolutely no physical proof of Sebastian being at their house that night after dinner. There's nothing. There's her car coming home. My neighbor did tell me that she saw her car come, but she parks in the garage, so nobody saw him get out of the car.
What time was that? I always want to know what time she arrived home. Do you know?
I asked, and she said that it was so dark that she couldn't really see. She saw about 6 or so, I think is what she said, ish, because they went to dinner at Texas and then supposedly came home, and then her car came into the driveway around 6, and then somebody pulled the trash bin out, after that. But they don't know who it was because you can't tell.
So no evidence. any neighbor, including yourself or any, because you all talk, the neighbors talk to everybody and said there's nothing to indicate that he was home that night. He got home that night.
There's no proof of that. Nobody ever saw him come home, or really, I mean, I don't even know if anybody can say they saw him leave with her.
Hold on, did I just say something? Hey, Tony. Hey, hold on a minute. Tony said what? Tony here. Wait a minute. Seth and I would like to join you within the next hour. Are you available? I sure am. Yeah, I'll be here. I will be here. I sure will. I will sure be here. He said he would come. He said he'll come up here. He said he'll come up here within the next hour. I'll be here. I will still be here. I'll just anytime you're ready, just come back and let me know, and I'll stop whatever I'm doing and let you up, Tony. I sure will. Fine. Okay, so y'all, okay, so Tony's going to be joining me and Seth in about an hour. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, just whatever I'm doing, just interrupt me, get my mod Millie, she's my main mod or whatever, and that will be great, and I'll just go on with whatever I'm doing. Thank you. Hey, Justin. Yeah, we're just going to sit here for we'll sit tight for about a little bit, Justin, and anybody, if y'all need to go get anybody, let y'all share this out, because Tony and I guess Seth is going to come up here in about an hour. Again, I wasn't prepared for this, but that's when I do my best interviews, I guess. Oh, Lord have mercy. In the meantime, hold on. In the meantime, honey bunch, we're going to have some respect in the chats and stuff. I do want to be respectful. Appreciate you so much. Everything's good in Smiley's Hood, honey. You never know what's going to happen over here. You never know. But what is the benefit of that? Because we all have been through some things in our life. We all have. And we still may be going through difficult things in our lives. Sometimes we just don't like to tell people. Sometimes we carry that with us and we don't like to tell people. And we don't like to speak about it. And there's reasons for that. You know, there may be reasons for that. And we just keep it to ourselves. We just don't want to be a victim. And that's just my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Sometimes, regardless of the situation, we just want to keep it to ourselves. But we still want to succeed and we want to help others where we can and when we can, right? And we still find it in our nature to do so. So we try not to ever complain about it, though. And I just thought it would be interesting to talk about it a little bit, because sometimes there's real victims out there, the ones like we see now, like Seth has a missing kid. There's people out there that has been robbed, that's in the news every day, that has been beaten. Their house has been broken into. They've been truly harmed. We'll say with the we'll say RAPED. We use great on here or whatever. Bullied, beat. But then you have those that wish to be victims continuously. And we have those people on here too. We have those people on here. There's creators on here that use that as a crutch. They know who I'm talking to. And those are sick, deranged people, in my opinion. They love drama. They love drama. They say sometimes when you work with people, it could be in a warehouse, a factory, it could be on YouTube, it could be wherever. They say, you know, they may say, why me? Why me? Why am I assigned this assignment? Why am I assigned this job? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why are they talking about me? But they have the victim mentality, right? So, they do not believe they are in control at all, or they're not in control of their own success or their own failures, right? But they often feel helpless and without blame, though. And Justin, make sure also too, make sure Josh knows about this, and anybody that's on this case, make sure they see this or whatever too. Lord, I'm nervous, Rick. And AB's been on it too, so just make sure everybody knows about it. And they may believe others are deliberately out to hurt them, when that is furthest from the truth. Someone who has the victim mentality is often looking for attention or sympathy. Like, can you ask what sleeping aid that Sebastian took, as long as it doesn't violate HIPAA? Yeah, let me write that down. Brownie is the snake. Brownie is the snake. It was Sebastian's snake, and that's the one that Chris got rid of all of the snakes and his snake Brownie. I appreciate Trev being in here. Thank you for coming to support me, Trevor. Did anybody check to make sure? Where'd it go? That was the real Tony. Hey, T-Rev. T-Rev's got them eyeballs going. T-Rev, you killing me, hun. Evidently, Tony come in here and said him and Seth was coming on here. That's why I got all these people in here. So that's what I'm waiting on, T-Rev. I'm freaking out. So you might need to get 4 eyeballs, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know. My mods better be sure. Oh my God. Look at all my mods be looking at each other now going, was it really Tony? Was it really Tony? Oh crap. Tomorrow's description, Smiley got catfished. Smiley got catfished by Seth Rogers and Mean Tony. Shit. The haters trolling you probably. Probably they saw the brownies and the victim, and then Smiley, they done started trolling Smiley. Nobody disrespects our Smiley.
The drama, I don't care for it. Don't want to be a part of it. I won't have it on here. I don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing. There. Who's looking for me? What are you doing? You ready to go? I want to know who taught. I want to know who taught Jay how to sing. Has a message for me. That man has not even got his phone on his hand. He's right there, so you be a troll, because he ain't got his hands on the phone. That's called a troll. He's not looking for me. It would be a troll. That dude has his hands on his hips. He ain't got a phone in his hand. That'd be a troll, y'all. That's why I said we got to cut that damn drama out. Yeah, he's right there. I mean, yeah. It's a troll. That's not the real dude. The dude's right here. His hands ain't on a phone. That's why I told y'all, no drama. It's a troll. And you can block a troll. Block a troll. I don't want that. No drama. He's right here. He ain't got his hands on the phone. He's right here. His hands are not on the phone. I can't make this shit up. So y'all got to stop. Block it. If he had a message for me, he could give it to me. And he's standing right there.
Yeah, mother trucker. T-Rev, work your magic. Find out where they at. That's right, T-Rev. Cher said, Chris is playing his games.
Okay, so they came in your chat and said that they'd like to come up on here.
Yes.
In your chat. Okay, so what do you want to get? What do you want to get out of tonight, Miss Smiley? Like, what do you hope to get out of tonight if they come on here? Which they probably will. I don't think they're probably just getting ready, maybe having dinner or something, whatever.
Yeah, he said it'll be about an hour because they had to do something, but he said him and Seth would like to come up here.
Well, that probably will be. Okay, yeah. So what do you hope comes out of tonight? What would you like?
I don't know. I was kind of surprised. I just I don't know. I don't know why I'm so nervous because I never am. But
well, don't be nervous because you make people comfortable talking to you, and they came to you. So screw the haters that are going to say whatever, tragedy pimp, whatever. They came to you. So just just think about what you would like to, I'm sure you've got your questions going. I know I'm curious. I know everyone's saying the medication name, but I didn't know, is that like separate from the sleep medication, or is he on that Risperdal or whatever it's called and a sleeping medication? Like, I just don't know. I'm confused by that.
Yeah, I don't know because like my son, now he took the Risperdal also, and so he took clonidine as well for sleep, which lowers your blood pressure and makes you sleepy. So I don't know if he took both or not.
Right, because I'm familiar with the drug everyone's saying to me, but I've never knew it to be just a sleeping medication. There was always other medications to help with sleep with people that I know that took that kind of medication. So I was just curious because when you say something like OD on sleeping meds, well, what does that mean? Is it melatonin? Because that's next to impossible to OD on.
Yeah, no, not it's a script.
Or was she doing like, I don't know, NyQuil on her own or Benadryl on her own or something like that? I don't know. I'm just asking because that's what's out there. So I'm just curious. What's the sleep aid?
Yeah, probably the most dangerous thing would be the clonidine because it's a blood pressure medicine and it lowers your blood pressure. Did she give him too much and make his blood pressure too low, or double dose, or give him something else on top of it?
Maybe. See, I just wish that honestly wasn't even out there. I do think that's where Nancy Grace kind of messed up. Like, because to be honest, that is hearsay, right? You're asking Seth, what's your opinion? And then it's being broadcasted on Nancy Grace of all people. Yeah. So I just wish, I know he has his thoughts and opinions and he sure is entitled to it, but I do wish that Nancy Grace didn't do that to Seth, because Seth is going to take all the heat now for that because he said it, but that wasn't supposed to be aired. Like, I love Nancy Grace, but yeah, Seth is in chat. Justin told me to tell you.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm going to hop down.
Okay. Thank you, Ginger Snack. I got it. Thank you. All right. So here we go. All right, let me get the invite thing. All right. Hey, Seth. How you doing, Seth? Uh-oh. Link got dropped. Sorry. Okay, I dropped the link again. It looked like he was outside. It looked almost daylight where he was at. Putting the link out again. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, Seth. So if he gets that, he can come back up. Sorry, he might. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, everyone can have their own opinions and everything, but please be respectful. Everybody, please be respectful and show respect. It's 2:30 in Maui. Hey, Maui. Tomorrow is a busy day with the ride and the vigil. Yeah, tomorrow is a busy day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who said? Renee said, I had a strange feeling you're going to say, I didn't say anything. Is T-Rev coming up? I don't know what is going on. Something is strange going on. I thought T-Rev said he was coming up. I don't know. The Seth that was on Page's talking had just Seth. It ran work at PI address from Colorado. Oh, that wasn't Seth? Oh, I think, yeah, because it showed he was outside. So I dropped it again. If he is, that is the real Seth account, they said. Okay. He's probably having a connection problem. I'm famous now. Famous for being stood up. What the hell's going on? Lord, have mercy. Green eyes. Green eyes. I may have to get you back up here again, buddy. Lord have mercy. Seth is saying, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Trev is an amazing person. Wait a minute. What did I see? Trev is saying. Wait a minute. Where are we at? Hold on. I seen something about Trevor. No. I'm missing that. Oh, God. Somebody. Where's that? Where's Tony? Yeah, where is Tony? Oh, we got a fake dolly too? What in the world is going on? Oh, hey, Smiley. This is slow mode sucks. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Smiley. This slow mode sucks, but what is this stuff? Did you know that Trevor Lee is a slime ball and that he leaked the audio file Chloe request? Oh, my Lord. This is not Seth. That's not Seth. That is not Seth. Somebody tell me, is that Seth? That's not Seth. That is not Seth. Lord have mercy, honey. Lord have mercy. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. Where is that is Seth? Are you kidding me? Seth, come up here. Seth, please come up here.
Eileen.
Hi, Seth.
See, right here in front of Beach High School, in front of my son's high school. Of course, it's me, Trevor Lee. You slimy little slime ball.
Ho. Seth, what's going on?
Chloe, I asked her to step back because she was leaking stuff. I know you don't got me in the show yet, but she was leaking information.
You are in the show.
Oh, I am in the show. My bad.
You are in the show. You are in the show. Hold on.
I figured I was still backstage talking to you, Smiley.
No, you're in the show. You're in the show. Mic drop.
Pretty much. Yeah, Chloe leaked. Chloe gave the audio file to Trevor Lee, knowing full well that I would take the blame because I'm the person that does that. And then I did my own investigation to find out where it was. He sat there and leaked it off the podcasters and everything else, and then wants to get all uppity because I won't let. Hi, Smiley. I won't let my PR person sit there and defend Chloe. Who the hell does Trevor think he is to sit there and tell somebody that's working for me to do something?
Smiley, I'm sorry, hon. I don't know who you are, and I don't know whose profile that is, but it's not mine. I've been with Seth all day.
I didn't say you were coming on my channel.
Somebody was out there saying that we were coming on the panel. That Tony said that we were coming on. We've been out here riding around all day.
Oh.
Checking out places for searching and everything else.
Oh, okay. So I got like almost 1,700 people in here.
Mic drop. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I want you to know that I love Trevor and
hey, I tell you what, I'm sorry. I thought he was a great person too. But after I saw, I got so many snakes that were in my group, I'm still cutting heads off. And it came as a shock to me. It came as an absolute shock that this man, I can't even call him a man, that this individual would sit there and lie to my face and then sit there and put out lies to begin with. And now he want to go out there whenever I'm in a podcast or whatnot, and nothing about Sebastian. No, nothing about my son. All about Chloe and her little clique. When I asked her to step back, she took almost all the searchers with them. And now people are like, oh, it was like a slap to my face. They don't know why I asked her to step back. But I asked her to step back because she's a private investigator trying to be a SAR person. You need to get out of the field and get back to doing private investigation, which she wasn't doing. She wanted to vet everybody. Like everybody. Like, I want to know, what size foot they were when they were born. And it's like, I will accept help from anybody to find my son. And people are taking my good-hearted nature and just trampling all over it. And it's going to bring out the negative part of me that don't give a flying. Smile around and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy? And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh, you're really helping find Sebastian doing this.
Hey, why you sitting there changing your face? Hey, what? Can't spend the time looking for summer no more, right? You want to say where I'm at? You see where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you on this panel right now?
Why don't you go and tell
Don't
the
you
world how many
ever,
times that
and
took
I
your
will
call
let
at
this be
midnight and listened to
publicly
you
known.
cry about your son? How
You,
many times?
Chloe, your whole team does not have my blessing to use my name or my son's name to ask people to search on their property. Like you have a contract with me. Trevor, you need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it? Because if I recall, I'm the one that's
Yeah,
trying to
is
put
it?
up
Because if
flyers.
I recall, I didn't ask you to respond. I told you to get off the panel, boy. This is
Well,
my
if
son,
this was
not
Seth's, if
yours.
this was Seth's
My
panel, I
son,
would.
not
You're making a
yours.
joke of
My
his son's
son.
case.
This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers.
Of
That's
course you did,
my
because his
last
mom was
name.
underage when you
Take
met
your
her.
Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to literally? This is my goddamn son.
Seth. Oh my God. Trevor, are you okay? Well, that went well. That was a good move, AB. You're right. I wonder if I can. Hold on a minute. Hold on, Cher. Hold on. I mean, you're fine. Let's see if I can get him back up here. Can I get him back up here? T-Rev, can you call him and see if I can get him back up here? Tell him Trevor's gone. Can somebody get him back up here? This is. Hold on. Sorry, Cher. I mean, you can talk, but this didn't go over very fucking well. Hold on a minute. Hold on just 1 minute. I gotta think. Cher, I'm sorry. You could stay up here, but I gotta think just a minute, y'all. Just hold on a minute. Oh, Lordy, just hold on a minute. I can't even think who I'm trying to. Somebody call Seth. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Somebody call Seth. I need him to come back on here. Okay. I'm so sorry, Trevor.
No, I'm sorry I came and did that. The panel's not the place, but I'm
No,
just
you're
the past 2 weeks behind the scenes, people don't know the amount of things that have been said to me by that man and the man standing beside of him. And I've sat back and said, this man is a grieving father, and I've tried my best to give him the benefit of the doubt. But that stupid PR person sits by and tells me that I need to leave the case, that I haven't done anything, that he's here, he's going to get information, he's doing all this stuff. While all the people who care are being thrown to the side. I get it. I know he's going through a lot. He should tell you guys how many times I took his call at midnight to listen to him cry because he was venting about his case because nothing made sense and he was mad at the whole world. Right. I've done nothing but try to find his son, and I don't deserve an accolade for it. But don't come in here and scream at me and call me a slimeball and try to take away my credibility for the things I've tried to do since the day that his son went missing.
I get that, Trev.
But I'm sorry your panel was not it, and I'm going to get down, and you can do what you want with your show. Okay. I should not have done that.
No. And I apologize, and I thought he knew he was on here, and I want you to know that I do back you, and I'm sorry, and I do want the world to know that I back you, and don't ever think any different, hon, okay? Because I always said from day one, I believe you'll be something, and I still mean that with my heart, and this has really tore me up. And now that you've had your say, just keep doing what you're doing. And I do want him to come up here so I can speak with him and say what I need to say. And if he's watching, I hope he's man enough to come back up here and let me continue this with him.
I hope any family out there, please do not bring on, I'm not talking about Tony, do not bring him onto your case. Tony has done nothing but cause problems. Seth, it was so much different. His team was all about finding Sebastian before this. Tony has caused so many issues. He has been blackmailing me for about a week, threatening to put out that I released that audio call, which I did not. Seth pushed it out, but they've been blackmailing me, and that's why I've been able to say anything, and I finally have this week, and this is what happens from it. I'm not going to be silenced and blackmailed over something I did not do because they don't want to take credit for it. If they're scared of Chris and they don't want him to know they released the call, then don't release it. They pushed it out. They pushed that call out. I did not. And I'm not going to be blackmailed because they want to have some sort of issue over me. I'm here for Sebastian, and I'm here for Summer since he wanted to bring that case up. I'm here for all the kids and all the families that I work with, but I'm not going to sit here and be run over because what I'm trying to do is bring these kids home. That's all I've been trying to do.
Absolutely, and I get that. Absolutely, Trev. Absolutely. Okay, Trev. Thank you, hon, and you take care of yourself, okay? Boy, Smiley's never been lost for words. Seth, if you're watching, please jump back on my panel. Please, Seth. Seth, I expect you to please, I'm going to tell you like I have everybody else, jump back on my panel. I don't care who Tony knows, if he knows me or not. Right now, fuck Tony. I need you to jump back on my panel, Seth, and be a man. Chris did for over 3 hours. Okay. You know, you mentioned Summer Wells. Don Wells did for over 3 hours. I've spoken with Andrew Hiltz like a man about his child. I need you to come back up here, Seth. If you're not part of this, then I need you to come back up here, Seth, and talk to me, Seth.
Hello.
Hello.
That was unexpected.
Very.
I believe we know who the problem is in this. Smiley.
I think I'm beginning to. I want him to come back up here for 5 minutes. I want 5 minutes. Why will he not come up here? You know, there's another question that I have. And if Beautiful Sunflower will remember that I asked her this, she can just say yes or no. I asked it about 2 months ago.
That's it, Brittany. Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, I was sorry. They're good.
But I want to ask it in front of almost 2,000 people, and these people can they can answer it. They can answer it if they want to. But I said, and it was in the back of my head, I said, I wonder why. Now, y'all can all have different opinions or whatever, but I said, I wonder why Seth comes in my chats, but I wonder why Seth never comes on my panel. I wonder why Seth will never come on my lives. Does anybody have a inkling of an answer for that? Let's all think about that right now. Y'all know Smiley. You've all seen Smiley. You've seen how I interview. Now let's think about this a minute. Let's all start thinking about this logically right now before we make up our minds about anything. Because I've been on Seth's side. Mm-hmm. So let's start thinking about this logically for a minute before we all snap and start changing our tones here for a minute. Is there a reason that Seth won't come on my panel? Y'all seen how my interviews go and shit like that? And
I agree with Dolly. Why didn't he talk to Chris Proudfoot like that? Keep the same energy, right?
You're missing the point. He roams in my chats. I've never asked him to come on my channel. In fact, we're not here tonight because I asked him to come on my channel. Okay? There's something odd about him coming in. In fact, I've told all creators, you should leave Seth alone. If he wants an interview, he knows where each one of us is at. Matter of fact, I thought everybody should leave him alone and not be badgering him for an interview. But then it hit me one day. It's kind of odd. He goes on these panels. Nothing against, these couple that he goes on. But it's kind of odd when you come in somebody's chat and da-da-da-da-da, but you don't hit their link up. It's just kind of odd. But is it because he fears the way I interview that he will slip up and do or say something? Is there a fear there? There's something wrong with this picture. Now I'm fucking starting to get mad. And also, while we're at it, I don't like the damn games being played, matter of fact. And there's something about this shit right here. Why is it you want to be surrounded with all the damn criminals? Why is it in your group? Let's just get down to the damn nitty gritty, okay?
Okay.
You might have been at work and had a damn alibi. But that don't mean like Hawaii Hawthorne or whatever her name was, that you wasn't involved in this shit. Her daddy out looking for her the whole time. It might have not have been the same case, but it don't, you work for a jail. You could have had criminals to come help. Yeah, here I am. Let's all get on the same page here for a minute. And Trev Time hadn't done nothing wrong.
Listen, he has been looking for children since he was a child.
Wait a minute.
Trev.
And bingo, he just talked about Summer Wells' case. Bingo, who's been watching Summer Wells' case and maybe getting these ideas? Now you done piss me the fuck off.
So listen, Trev has been giving to Summer Wells since way before Sebastian was missing. All we do is try to get these children's faces out. It's rare you ever get cussed by parents of a missing child. It's just a rarity. This is another one.
Hold on.
Josh, I'll send it to you.
Also, it made me think about this. You didn't see this just a minute ago, but the person that tried to come up here just a minute ago was under them same trees when Seth tried to come up here the first time and got disconnected. So is Chris with Seth and Tony right now? Because when Seth and Tony was there, Chris tried to come up here under the same fucking trees where they were at just a minute ago, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I think they're all in this fucking shit together now. That's what you didn't see up here under my little panel just a minute ago. First it was Seth, and he got disconnected the first time. Then we saw Seth and Tony. Then Chris tried to come up here under the same fucking trees that Tony come under a Chris's name. So what the hell is going on?
Well, I think it might be a troll if we're not careful. And I'll tell you why later.
I don't know. They were at the school, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I that's true. Chris could be there with them.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, here's Seth. Okay, Seth. What? Now what?
First of all, I meant no disrespect for you, Miss Smiley. And I will tell you right now, Chris Proudfoot ain't nowhere near me.
Okay, so you're sitting there watching me. So why did you come on here like that? Why? Why? I mean, who is lying? Why? What is going on right now? What?
Yeah, somebody said that you were first. There's a lag on this thing or something.
I'm sorry, what?
I said there's a horrible lag.
I'm sorry. Now go ahead. Can you hear me?
He said there's a lag. It's this.
Can you hear me now?
It's a service. He froze.
Oh, you froze. You froze.
Test.
All right. Can you hear me now? I don't know. Go out and come back in. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. How am I gonna make him unfreeze, y'all?
He'll drop off. He'll come back up.
Okay.
It's okay. Hey, Josh.
Hey. How's it
now
going?
there he is. Okay. Are you back?
Seth,
Okay.
we see you. We see
Now
you.
we see you.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Miss Smiley, first of all, I did not mean to disrespect your channel and your panel. But I have been dealing with him, as in Trevor Lee, for a minute. All right? And for the disrespect, the distrust, and the betrayal that I feel at this gentleman sitting there backing up a PI who refused to actually do PI stuff for me like I asked her to. And for her to turn around and give him the audio file that got blamed on me for leaking, which I don't care. I've got juicier ones, more juicier ones.
Yeah, but Seth, that was me.
No, I did my own research, Josh. It wasn't you. It was out. Literally, somebody sent it to my mom. Somebody sent it to my mom. All right. Yeah. My mom heard this before you guys even did. I sure in hell didn't send no audio file to my mom. You know, she's got enough stress on her plate with her grandchild missing. I got enough stress on my plate with my son missing. And no, I'm at Beach High School and there is no Christopher Proudfoot here. Nowhere. Like literally nowhere.
All right. I think it was someone messing. I think it was a troll.
And I apologize, Smiley, because I have nothing but love for you ever since the first time I came on your chat. But when I find a snake that's hiding in here and sitting there doing nothing but harm to me trying to find my son, it does get me riled up. It gets me riled up because my son's been gone for over 80 days and I can't find. And people just don't understand what it's like to have a kid missing. I ain't getting nowhere. I'm getting nothing from Sumner County. And it makes me wonder if there's other kids in this county that are missing that Sumner County ain't even looking for. If it's not just my kid. There could be hundreds of kids missing and they're not doing their job. And it makes me scared for every one of my son's classmates. All right. I am at my wit's end. I have gone so long at my house, walking into my house, seeing my son's room empty. He's not playing video games with people give me shit about. You know what? People are going to give me shit because I let my son experience certain things, like playing video games and not having somebody breathing down on him, tell him you can't be on, you can't play video games because maybe you'll talk to somebody. I had conversations with my son. He didn't even use the headphones. You can't talk to anybody if you don't got the headphones in. It's a PlayStation 4. It ain't no PlayStation 5 with built-in stuff. I don't own a PlayStation 5. People giving me shit because I want my son's stuff back. They took his stuff. That's all I have. It needs to be back in his room for when we find him and he comes home. Things are in the same place that they were when he left. Nobody seems to understand. I love my son. I miss my son. And I'm trying to find him. I'm out here today looking. Chloe kept me away from search areas. Plenty of search areas. Had people babysitting me because she didn't want me to find my kid. Well, we don't want you to come across his deceased corpse. Well, I'll tell you what, that's some type of closure. Me, I want to come across my son alive and well. All right. But still, to sit there and tell me that you're going to run this is my show because it's my son. And nobody's going to sit there and tell me that I can't participate trying to find my kid. All right. I communicate with TBI. If I go somewhere, they already know 2 days in advance. So that way they know where I'm going. Because by be damned if someone's going to tell me not to go there. I contact TBI. I have everything recorded in chats, text messages, so they know my whereabouts. They know my locations. Because if I am somewhere, they want me to call them if I find something. Sure. And every time I go search and I don't have anything to show for it afterwards, you have no idea how it feels deep down inside that I failed to find my son, which means I failed to find him again. People want to sit there. I've got balls. I just don't need to fucking show my nuts to everybody. I just got to find my son. It's not about this shit. I am not fucking Christopher Proudfoot. All right. I have respect for fucking people. But when people sit there and piss and shit on me and then bite me with their fucking venom-filled fangs and they're fucking poisoning the search groups against me, I brought people in that had no idea what was going on. I took regular people and brought them in for a cause, and that cause is dear to me. It's for my son. And then for someone to sit there and leak this stupid shit that really had no fucking meaning at all. It's a video file. It's an audio file. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't get me any closer to my son. Yeah, it shows people how Christopher acts. We all know how he acts. We all know how he displays himself. I don't care about him. I want to find my son. Searches are going to start back up at the end of this week coming up. If people want to come to the vigil and say a prayer for my son and join us for prayer for my son, please, of all people, come. I don't need the drama. My son doesn't need the drama. I'm tired of it. People say I cause it because I answer questions or because I'm emotional about stuff. But if you're not emotional about your child missing, was that really your child?
I agree with that. Yeah.
I agree.
I love you, Smiley. I love you, Josh. I love you, Justin. I gotta go though. And if people can't accept my apology, that's on them. That's not on me.
But Seth, listen, I love you, Seth. But listen, please, you're vulnerable right now. Okay. That's one thing, you're vulnerable right now. And the world, we don't want to see you vulnerable because there are vultures out there, but it just seems like the good ones are getting gone, and you can't let that hate get built up.
You know what? When I asked Chloe to step back, it was the same thing when I asked Heather to step back. I just asked her to step back because I saw what was going on and I had information and I wasn't going to put it out there. I just wanted her to step back because I saw what was going on. I saw it. I didn't want it to be a public display. I didn't want to see the shit come out like this. So I asked her, but certain people won't let it go. Keep poking the bear. Keep poking the bear.
Seth,
and you're going to see
Seth,
I'm a bear.
Before you go, I want to say,
what's up, Josh?
You do what you do what you're doing. Keep looking for your son. I disagree about Trevor. I think he's a wonderful kid, a young man. I really do. And I think that
you're misunderstanding somewhere.
I think that you think that
I understand, Josh. I just think somebody got their hands into the kid and it's changed him a little bit.
But he's a special guy. You know what? He really is.
Yes.
Can I ask you?
But it's not about Trevor. It's not. It's about you finding
about Sebastian.
Right.
But I do have to say that I love Trevor a lot. And I think that he's a great human. And, I think there's a lot of pressure. And I know that what you're going through is hell. You and I had that conversation. And I want you to keep looking and do what you're doing. But just know that we do care. And Trevor's a part of the team. I'm part of my team. He always has been. And he'll never not be.
I'm not asking you to tell him to vacate your team. I
know that.
What he needs to understand is that I can't have him around my team.
Fair enough.
Because my team, I see what's going on, and whether he realizes it or not, he's being manipulated. And the person that's doing this isn't going to suffer. Instead, I'm suffering. Instead, Trevor's suffering. Instead, they got me sitting there baring my teeth at Trevor Lee, and Trevor Lee don't want to back down. Probably the wrong thing. I'm looking for my son.
I know. That's all I wanted to say.
That's the main goal.
That's all I wanted to say.
It's about Sebastian. That's all it should be about.
That's all it is for me. It's all about people complained about my GoFundMe. Well, I told my sister to shut it down 2 weeks ago. People don't want to give me. That's fine. That's fine. It's on their good nature to give me anything to use for the search. And if people don't want to do it, it's not going to stop me from searching.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
my end goal is to find my son, and I love all 4 of you. I watch you all the time. Smile around and fuck out. Smile around and find out. Smile around and fuck off. But that's mine. He's out there. And something else. If Trevor really wants to do me a favor, he could stop sharing text messages between me, my PR, and him, because it's only making it look worse. It really is. It causes drama that has nothing to do with Sebastian. It literally has me telling him I didn't give a flying. I told him I don't give a flying fuck about the audio, dude. I don't know what the intent was behind it. We all know how Christopher Proudfoot is. We all know how he treats ladies. We all know how he treats children. We all know how he is.
Yeah.
Why is this still about him? It needs to be nothing but my son. He is the child that is missing. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He is missing, and we need to find him. I asked the world to help find him. And then when I ask the world to help find him, that means I'm also asking the world to give me all this shit, and I'll take it. I will take and deal with everything that comes on my plate if it means that I find my son in the end, because that's worth it to me.
Sure.
I agree.
And I love you, Smiley. Love you, Justin. And I love you, Josh.
Love you too, buddy. I'm the one that leaked it. I am.
No, you didn't send it to my mom, did you?
No.
See, who sent it to my mom? Because my mom had it before you did.
It's just, and I don't know who else had it. I know one other YouTube person had it, but you and I had a conversation.
I wasn't going to bring up our conversation because I remember our conversation, Josh.
Yeah. But
that's in confidence between you and me off the record. Why are you making it on the record, man?
Well, no, I asked you if I could. That's
but
it.
See, I went one step further. I went to look for beforehand. And
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, it was leaked before you got it.
Good. It
was. At one point in time, literally, I have Trevor telling me that the person who I gave it to him. And I did not give it to him.
I got you.
That's a bold-faced lie. And when I catch you I catch inmates in lies all the time. And I give them the benefit of the doubt, and then I'll explain to him, I caught you in a lie, dude. Come on, come clean. And I gave him that opportunity. And he just decided to keep digging with the shovel, man. That's deceitful. And that's not going to help find Sebastian.
I understand. I do. I'm listening. I understand what you're saying.
Well, the whole world's listening right now.
Yeah.
I do have to get off. As you can see, it's dark. I just wasted about an hour of my search time.
I understand.
Things come out at night.
Yes.
All right, listen, tomorrow is the bike ride, right? We might as well tell them that tomorrow's the bike ride.
Yes, tomorrow will be the MC ride. We will be meeting at the Rudder. 4:00. Kickstands up at 5, and we will be coming to Beach High School, where we'll be having hot dogs and a vigil after work. Hey, there's food involved, okay? Not corn dogs, Josh. Hot dogs. It'll be hot dogs. The vigil is for a community. It's to bring people back together, to understand that there's people out here who want to find my son, and I want to find my son. That puts us in a common goal, people. Come, do not bring the drama. My son does not deserve the drama.
Yeah.
My son deserves people to find him. And that is what the vigil is. We will have prayer. We will have people speaking that deal with autism. We're going to have a good, watch out, people. Don't get ran over.
And this is
what people are invited. Just please don't bring the drama. It doesn't solve anything.
Have you heard if Chris and Katie's coming?
I was informed the reason I moved it from the church to Beach High School is A, they weren't going to let any live streaming, and B, they informed me that Chris and Katie told them 2 weeks ago that they weren't showing up. Well, I was holding it at the church because the conversation that Chris and I had, he said if I held it at the church that he would show up. So I jumped through a bunch of hoops. My team did, I did, to get it held there. And then found out that he had told them that he's not showing up. So
wow.
We had people from the church leaking conversations that we were having. It's like, wow. I mean, I gotta go.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, hopefully they will change their mind and show up. And I don't know, but many prayers, many prayers. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Wow.
Sad. No words. No words. Tony said he had to go. No words.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'll be the I don't know what to say.
I think there's a big misunderstanding with him and Trevor. I really do.
Oh, look, I don't agree. I don't agree with their assessment of Trevor. I just don't.
Right. I don't either.
Either.
I don't know exactly what has gone on, but basically what needs to happen is just let Seth do his thing. I mean, Seth's got to do what Seth's got to do.
Right. I mean, I get that as a dad. I mean, and you do, Josh, I mean, you do anything for your kids. And
well, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it's for it's
right.
His decisions.
Right.
So,
right.
It's his decision. I just would have liked to ask him I would have liked to know how he forgave Stephen. That's what I'd like to know. And if he forgave Stephen, I don't see any reason he in his head couldn't forgive Trevor. Because Stephen gave him the hope. You see what I'm saying? But that's just me.
I agree, but that's a good point.
Who's Stephen?
That's
the one that lied his ass off yesterday and said he went and talked.
Crabtree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think that anybody that has followed this case from the very beginning knows that there were a few people on the ground floor putting this out or talking about this case. Trevor might have been the very first. That doesn't mean that it's quote unquote his case, but he got the ball rolling.
Right.
I came in because I saw that he was very passionate about it. And at first he had a few
Cher,
hundred.
you can come back up here. I'm sorry. Hold on. If Cher's still in here, she can come back up here. I felt bad for her for jumping down, but anyway, go ahead.
There's a few hundred people. And then we got it onto my channel, and then Pascal, and then you guys started covering it, and everybody started covering it, and I mean, Trevor was covering it when it wasn't even a big topic at all. Most people didn't even know about it.
Right.
So he's going to feel betrayed and upset, and that doesn't make it about him. People will say, well, he's making it about that. That's not what that means. It's hurtful. And he has a right to feel the way he feels. Seth has a right to feel the way he feels.
Yeah.
And that's it. And Sebastian's missing, and let Seth continue to search and do what it is that he feels he needs to do and who he needs to do it with. And that's it. There's really nothing else to do. And just, keep Seth and Sebastian in your prayers is all I can say. And even Chris and Katie, I know that people, feel a certain way about them, but everybody, there needs to be some softening of hearts here. There needs to be some changing of minds. There needs to be somebody that is willing to put an end to this, that loves Sebastian enough, that knows something that it just needs to stop somehow, some way. And that's my hope. And thank you for letting me up. I'll talk to you guys later.
No, thank you, Josh. You're always reasonable, and you have the softest heart. And I thank you. Because I think you calm me down, because I really just thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. You guys talk. I'll be watching. Take care.
Okay. All right.
Bye, Justin.
Bye.
I love him. He has the softest heart. He really does. And yeah, I probably shouldn't have got to fussing like that, but it all breaks my heart. It really just breaks my heart. It's
frustration. It's frustration because we're all literally almost 24 hours a day looking, searching, talking, putting this out, and nobody is, there's nothing. And I think what Josh said was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to put an end to this.
Who's Heather? Hold on a minute. Who's Heather?
I have no idea.
Oh, is she talking about the PI? Hold on. That might be the PI. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, she can have a link.
You have to block out the noise, Chris. The public will do what they do, and that's the truth. A lot of us are just trying to offer help. It's the bad ones that you remember, and not all the much bigger crowd of good people who are not doing this.
And I mean, weeks ago, somebody asked me what I thought, and I had some information from court documents that could have been a lot of quote unquote tea for the internet to have. And I refused to release it because
court documents on, let me ask you this, on who? Me, Seth, Katie?
Katie.
Okay.
I refused to release it because, number one, I didn't think it would help find Sebastian. Number two, it was a deeply personal thing. And also,
when she was young?
Yes.
Okay, so let me
finish, and I referred to the Michael Vaughn case, where his parents got completely slaughtered.
Yes, they did.
By the public for a very long time. And they didn't do anything to that boy. I do not believe.
They didn't.
Now they have proof. But they just got slaughtered. And people can say without a shadow of a doubt that they just know what somebody did, and they don't. Well, if you know, take it to the police and let's solve this.
Yeah. Tell all the Sherlock Holmes and Watsons out there, since they have their PhDs in criminal justice and forensics and all this, since they've got it, by all means, we welcome you to the case. We welcome you to come in here and show us and show these law enforcement officers that have so many years of experience that they don't know anything. We'd love for you to do it.
Chris, this isn't helping.
I know it's not helping, but this goes back to what's being asked.
Let's get people on your side, and then we can all work together. Because I know
that's just the thing. This isn't about sides. This is not about sides.
Exactly, and that's
not.
What we're
this is about Sebastian.
It is. But if we're not,
I'm Team Sebastian. Same. I was brought in to do one thing.
Same.
Katie's passed, said she has it, but she wasn't going to release it. It caused a f***ing story. Now everybody went out there and got it and released it.
Oh, she said Katie's mom's name?
She didn't say the name. She just insinuated she had the information.
I mean, we do have the information, but...
Yeah, and let me tell you what the f*** started. Now all that information is out in the f***ing open. And somebody better f***ing explain to me very quickly, preferably her. That had any god thing of
no idea.
Yeah, because I'm gonna
I don't know what was said.
Better find a way to stop it.
Where's it at?
Nothing. It's everywhere, all over the fucking internet. That people have released on these stupid ass shows and all these fucking Facebook things.
Okay.
It was never out there until that bitch opened her fucking mouth.
Okay. Well, I haven't been looking at it today or really yesterday, so I don't know what's out there.
I'm telling you, I am being very polite as I can possibly be to her. If she don't find a fucking way to fix it, I promise her I am not going to be so god pleasant when I see her.
Okay.
And I will bring the fucking cops with me.
All right. Well, I'll talk to her.
I mean, how she takes that. I don't care how she takes it. I really don't give a god what I have to fucking do. But I can promise you, there's a difference in helping find Sebastian and just being a stupid.
Okay, well, let me ask you something just for a second. Like, are you sure it was her and not like one of these sleuthers or something? Because other people
her on the show. Okay. It is her.
Okay, because there's other people that are digging.
Or sleuth, whatever that woman's name is.
Web sleuth.
Yeah, whatever. It was on that fucking show.
But I don't see. I can't see Chloe just giving out that information though.
She did. You're missing my statement. Okay. I didn't say she gave the information out. I said she made a statement that she had it and wouldn't fucking release it. That right there was a trigger to start this fucking storm. When she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth in the beginning. I don't know what kind of fucking PI or whatever the fuck she thinks she is or how she does this. But if she needs a fucking education and schooling on being a PI, I guarantee you I'll find somebody who is truly a PI and let them school the fuck out of this woman.
All right, well, let me try to figure it out because I know neither her or I have given out any of Katie's information.
It's not giving it out. All you have to do is start good sentence. I have the information. I'm not going to release it. She started a storm.
Actually,
she better figure out how to fix it.
You know, something else I'll tell you, there was a woman that reached out to me that before I had ever even, before I ever knew anything about Katie's family or past or whatever, there was like this random woman, like sleuther, that reached out to me with like some of Katie's family's names and whatever. Like, I will say that she was wrong about, she was talking about Penny Payne, and she thought there's a Penny Payne that runs like some sort of
Penny Irene Payne or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some medical place or something.
Yeah, it was the wrong Penny Payne, but she had the right names.
She has the right names. Just
the wrong people.
Katie Lynn Payne.
Yeah.
Who supposedly murdered a 4-year-old.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem with a lot of the sleuthers, is that they get a name and then they find somebody with that name and they run with it.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot.
The worst part, and that's fine. That's understandable. Personally, I think everybody fucking starts looking for shit.
Yeah.
Ain't even worth the fucking bacteria of the foam that forms on the fucking worst form of bacteria on Earth. That's what I truly feel.
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you. I can feel it through the phone.
Oh, trust me, Chloe's lucky I'm not standing in front of her. Like I said, I will bring the fucking cops when I see her.
Okay, well.
And it was more my protection than hers. Because right now, you can inform her. She fucking calls me, says my fucking name, anything of that fucking nature involving Katie or me or anybody else, I'm going to slap out of her with the same fucking thing I told you. I'll cease and desist letter and then let her open her fucking mouth one more time. And then I've got her dead to fucking rights.
I think that's
I'm trying to be as civil as possible.
Isn't that the only interview she's even done? I don't think she's.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't think
care.
she's done
She's not
it.
my PI. She's not. Still fucking mean a god thing to me. If she was on fire, I wouldn't piss on her to put her out.
Well, I mean, it's not like Katie. It's not like Chloe, because she's very private. Like, I'm more public than she is. I mean, you know that.
I promise you, go back and watch that fucking video. Go watch that fucking interview.
I mean, I was watching it. I know what she said, but
She ain't fucking careful. She's fucking sloppy.
all right. Well, let me talk to her. I don't even know. Actually, I do know.
I ain't trying to be a to her, but if she ain't got the fucking audacity to give me a working fucking phone number, she better not fucking reach out to me. And that Google ain't a fucking true number.
That's the same number that Seth has, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not Seth. I have the balls and the fucking spine to call people out on.
Just don't take it personal, because she doesn't give her personal phone number out to anybody. I mean, like, only, like, I had it from like a previous case that we worked together, but she's very private about her personal information. So
okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what to say. I feel bad. Like, I know Chloe, and I know that she's not, that's not her style. But I mean, I get it.
Maybe her head's so fucking twisted because she's too emotionally involved or personal involvement with Seth. I don't fucking know. And I'm not saying a relationship.
Yeah, no.
Didn't say that.
No,
but
yeah.
whatever the fuck it is, she better God can figure it out and redial herself the fuck back in.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, and I think I told you this before, like, she's more focused on the search side of things, that's been her
What the
focus.
fuck is this on fucking on these goddamn interviews?
Yeah, it's just the one that I know of, but I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. I mean, I have to try to defend her a little bit, because, I mean, I know that she's not a person that, like, shares personal information or private information.
She didn't have to. She insinuated she had the information. She wasn't going to release it. She started a fucking firestorm.
What was the purpose of making that statement, knowing full good and well that the
Trust me.
were going to dig
Seth can have his fucking PIs. I don't need PIs.
See, and actually,
I get
as
the
we're
whole goddamn world
speaking,
that sends me all this shit for no fucking reason.
as we're speaking, I just got a message from a web sleuther that I don't even know. I don't even know their name. They go under a pseudonym, and they're sending me a picture of Katie's mom, and I don't know how they found that out. Like, I didn't tell. They're telling me, like, I don't know.
causing problems and leads that have already been run down.
Like, these web sleuthers, like, I mean, they are like batshit 99.9% of the time, but they're pretty good at finding, and some of these people are just doing it on their own.
Yes, I know. That's one thing. She opened her mouth, made the statement. She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing.
Yeah.
Striking support.
It doesn't take much. I can go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I could almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that show. When you said I wanted on the show, that it almost broke the fucking internet.
Yeah, and that's mainly because up until that show, like you and Katie both were pretty reserved about anything that you were saying, and that was like the one time that you just kind of went berserk.
No, that's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts.
Yeah.
I didn't go berserk.
Well,
Now they've dug in.
No, I'm fucking pissed.
I
There's a
know.
difference in berserk and stupid, psychotic, and every other adjective you want to add into it.
Yeah.
I'm neither of those.
No, but I'm just
just
saying you
very
said a whole
pissed
lot
off.
more than you normally say, and
Yeah.
so
I did, and I had every fucking right to say what I said. Nothing I said was false. Nothing.
I didn't say it was. I don't think anything you said was false.
I don't know. Yet.
But well, let me make a phone. Actually, I know I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her right now. I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her till this evening.
And by the way, I sent a message to Seth. Once again, he wants to talk about not responding or whatever. I got in touch with Tony. We talked to Tony. That probably ain't happening. Got in touch with the dog handler. Guess what? That ain't happening either. And that ain't even on my decision, because Seth doesn't know how to open his fat fucking mouth and give everybody the truth. Or what he does know, he didn't want to tell nobody, thinking that everybody's going to be sure sympathetic to his bull. When I told her exactly how many dogs, where they all went, what they've all done, she's like, there's nothing I can really do or offer at this point other than to
The kind of
assist in a search if needed.
Yeah.
bodies we did and starts talking.
Oh, so you did
So-
you did actually talk to her?
Oh yeah, talked to her for over an hour and I think a half
Oh, okay, that's good.
last night.
That's good.
So once again, your client
Mm-hmm.
was the
I
nicest way
haven't
to
even
refer
talked to
this.
her. I haven't even talked to Seth since last night. He told me to take a break a couple days ago. He told me to take a break. So
Yeah, how convenient.
yeah, so I don't know. I gathered now. This is just me assuming. So we know that how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel like it had something to do with his conversation with Bobby Simmons, because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth, I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Well, I'm just as much in the dark right now about what's going on as anybody else. Like, I'm not getting updates. I have no idea. So, and that's what anybody who's reached out to me, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, can you get in touch with Chloe?
What's that?
I said, when you get in touch with Chloe,
Mm-hmm.
I suggest you tell her to lose my fucking number.
Okay. Do I have to say
She
it?
does
Do I
not
have
wanna
to say it
call
like
me.
that?
Sure. Yeah, you
Don't
can
really
tell her
wanna say it like that.
you can tell her those are my fucking words, not yours. Mine.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Chloe right now.
Oh, I don't. When you're a fucking amateur PI and you do some stupid shit like she's done, you explain to me how anything, and I've even told you this, how the certain things that y'all have done on fucking YouTube and all this shit, how the fuck it does anything to help find Sebastian other than just put shit out there. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It has left y'all down a what? Completely empty fucking road.
Yeah.
I never did.
We never, obviously we haven't found him, so,
Exactly.
yeah.
I got to thinking about this the other night when you and I talked. And you said you don't want to sound like a liar or anything. You're right, you don't. And that's great. But now you got information out there that actually has absolutely fucking zero to do with anything.
I wasn't.
Because there's no clues, there's nothing up to what y'all have released. And I'm just, got a friend of mine who is highly respected.
Cell phone and then it's on video.
All of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. And I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
Right. Well, like I said, it'll be this evening before I'll be able to get a hold of it.
What purpose it serves to bring through my, let's just be honest, I was violent. Violent. I don't understand why that needs to be done.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is what it is.
Okay.
I gotta get up and get ready to go to work.
All right. Bye.
I don't have my Go fucking Fund Me page to pay my bills.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. All right. Have a good day.
Later.
Bye.
I just don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm just going to say it. If he's still here, I'm going to apologize to him because I know he has brought awareness to things. I mean, no, there is no handbook. I'm going to say this, and I'm not making excuses, but is there a handbook for somebody that has their child is lost or missing?
No.
There's not. There is no damn
Every
handbook that
case
any
is
of us.
unique.
Yeah, there's no handbook on how a person acts. There's not.
No.
But there is somewhat different. I don't know how to say this the right way.
There's no right way. Just say it.
I mean, I don't know how that feels. That's why I go every day and do what I do, because
Yeah.
I don't know how that feels. I would hope that somebody would do the same thing if it were one of my three.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of hurt and a lot of frustration on all ends, and not enough maybe communication.
Yeah, that's
And,
yeah.
and I think communication is key. Direct and dialogue, and that's the best. That way you're always on the same step, lockstep. Because all of us, every single one of us, whether we agree or disagree on, about this case, we all want Sebastian found.
Yeah, that's completely the truth. And let me say this also. I don't even know this Tony person. I don't. I've never had a conversation with him. Don't know nothing about him like that. I don't. And that's just why I said this is about Sebastian for me. I've stepped away from probably a lot of things because it is about him.
Yeah. And I wonder who did that to me. But look, whoever did that, and supposedly acting like Tony, thank you, because you see my panel tonight was wonderful. Karma's a bitch, isn't it?
But the thing is, I think it takes away all of this, and I'm going to call it what it is, a shit show. It
A
takes
dumpster
away
fire.
from the real person that's missing. That's Sebastian. Every one of the adults can fight this shit out later. Let's find this kid. Everybody can fight the battle later. Fight that shit later. Keep that shit that way. And that's what I've been trying to say the nicest way possible. And I guess it's just time to say, keep that shit for later. Keep it for later. Y'all can fight that out. Let's find the kid. Let's get him. He's the one missing. He's the baby. To me, I don't care how old he is. He's the baby. He is the baby. Let's find the baby.
Yeah.
Let's find this child. Please, let's find this child. And then they can fight this shit out later. Fight it later.
But also, Terry, I absolutely agree with that. But I also believe there is always one or two keeping the hamster wheel going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
keeping the shit show going.
I mean, there's been all these parents that have come on and they've lost the child. And you listen to what they say in my chat. I mean, I'll read it, of course, but just reading it, you're feeling it, and they're knowing what they've gone through. There's so many people that could connect, and he could connect with on a level that could really help in some ways on how he's feeling. Because not everybody's going to feel that way. They're not.
No.
Everybody's feelings are different.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, the drama and stuff, that can stay later. They can fight out later.
Someone said you're being streamed, Smiley.
Who's streaming? There's no telling who's streaming me. I don't care. I don't know.
So they were talking bad.
What's new? I just don't know, y'all, anymore. I don't know anything anymore. I mean, it's sad all the way around. Just when I think I couldn't be shocked anymore, I am. That's all I know.
I always say, I don't think anybody's going to be necessarily a peach when their child is missing. You're frustrated, you're terrified, you're.
I don't expect to thank you. I really don't. It's just I'm local. I would want this. I would want this done if it were one of mine. And I think that's
Terry,
just a normal thing.
But you're looking for Sebastian like he is yours.
Yes.
You take that on like that, though, really. As a mom, I think that you take that on. It doesn't matter.
True.
I don't know how to explain it. I really don't.
So, I mean, you're the Energizer Bunny girl.
I think this sets an example of we're here for Sebastian, and it shows how vulnerable parents of missing can be to snakes and cutting off the ones that are good and not being able to, being totally disoriented and which way to go.
Right.
And following so many creators, and like I've met two of you on panel in person and getting to know you guys. So in a face-to-face scenario, and there's not many that are loyal and creative and like pure as he had in the beginning.
Right.
And that's just how I feel, is a lot of them have been ran off, like you asked. And I think we all agree on who that and why, but I have some concerns about that now.
Heather, I just dropped you a link. I'll drop it again.
I don't know. There's, and I hate to blame anybody, but there is a lot of shady stuff going on that nothing wouldn't surprise me. And I don't want to, it is what it is, but.
Can I answer that one question about the Nemesis? That's what I was doing yesterday. I followed that pin drop, which is a weird pin drop. That I wasn't even going to say this. It's over a dumpster, a big, huge dumpster for building. And that's why we went in that water, in those woods, because of that pin drop is just a wild pin drop. And that's not the last place that he was seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one hell of a current to fight. I'm not going to lie. That was a crazy current.
There you go. Hey, Heather.
Hey. I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I have not been keeping up with this. I lost my grandma last week, and thank you. I had not been online. I had not done anything. Got a message from somebody today, and it was like, Tony Mathis is working out really well. And I'm like, okay, is that sarcastic? I'm not sure what's happening. And I just, right now, the only perspective I can give, because I haven't been a part of the YouTube and all the online drama and stuff. The only thing I could tell you is that I have had several conversations with Tony Mathis. I know about like the, allegations. And in fact, I told him today, I said, why don't you let me run a criminal background? I'll run a criminal background check on you. Mm-hmm. And if there are things that are being said that are not true, I have no problem going public and saying, hey, these things are not true. Mm-hmm. He said he doesn't care what people are saying about him, whatever. People can say what they want. He did say that there may be some things that are actually another Tony Mathis with the same middle initial. So yeah, I don't know. But I do know that is a huge problem with sometimes with the sleuthers that use like the public platforms.
Sure.
That is actually, I've actually had a problem with that before, where somebody was desperately trying to discredit me and had found somebody with my same name who had been an assessor to murder in North Carolina. Yeah. And they were so sure that it was me that they literally filed a complaint with the PI board, claiming that I had been involved in this murder in North Carolina, and I had not, absolutely not.
Yeah. Some people just check the name. They don't check the birth dates and everything else. They see that name and they just go with it.
Right, exactly. And so that is, I know that is a problem. And I don't know if maybe some of the things are really him and some of them aren't, or I'm not really sure. I'm not here to debate that. But I do want to tell you that, some of the conversations that we have had, I actually agree with. One is that there have been too many cooks in the kitchen in this case. Mm-hmm. I came in, I was trying to be a bit of a PR. I was trying to be, my job, which was PI. And I was trying to wear too many hats. I think, there's just, I'm not going to speak on Chloe or her position because that's not my place, but I just think that everybody needs a designated role and needs to do their job and do it well. Do it, 100%. But if you can put 100% into your role, and that is your only role, and leave the other roles up to the other people that have those roles designated to them, I think we would get a lot further in this case. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest problems. That's a really big problem in this case. That's one thing that I felt like, that I dealt with. And then there's the egos. There's a lot of things going on that are just not doing Sebastian any justice at all. As far as the leaked audio, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys about what I know about that. Chloe and I both had withheld that from Seth because we just, like I've said before, we felt like it was just going to cause more problems. And that's not something I usually do with my clients because I don't feel good about withholding anything from my clients. And frankly, if I give my client something and they want to leak it to the world, they can do that. That's their prerogative. But in this particular case, because of how hostile it's been and whatnot, Chloe and I both felt like it was best to not share any of the audios. And I had several audios with Chris. You know, the people didn't hear, you know, I got a lot of criticism, like I didn't stand up for Chloe enough and whatever. Like I had worked really hard to get in good graces with Chris and Katie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to maintain that to some degree. I mean, obviously threats were not acceptable, but you know, at the end of that phone call, the people I did share it with, the question was, okay, do you think these are valid threats? Does law enforcement need to be notified? And you know, I've dealt with things like this in other cases when people say things like, oh, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you with a cease and desist, you know. And it's like it takes the teeth out of it, you know, when they throw a cease and desist, you know, like we can't, you know, we take that to law enforcement, and law enforcement's gonna be like, oh, that's not a threat. They're threatening us too. I've had similar situations in the past. In fact, one that I tried to get a restraining order against somebody in a previous case, and because all their threats were veiled, I mean, it was just, you know, I got turned away, and so no, at the end of the day, I didn't feel like, and most of the people I consulted with didn't feel like that call was going to be anything that, you know, would have the teeth to get any sort of restraining order or file any kind of charges. But I did do my due diligence to make sure, and to also consult with Chloe and her team and, you know, how she felt about it. But what happened with that audio, and it was, so Tony admitted to me that he sent it to Seth. I'm still not entirely sure. I'm still not entirely sure how Tony got it. I was going back through my emails to see if I had sent it to him, because I don't recall sending it to him. So I'm not really sure how he got it, but he sent it to Seth, and Seth had supposedly sent it on to Nina for the court hearing or whatever. But I don't know. And that really seemed to be where the problem began, because up to that point, it never got leaked.
So Tony's the one that got it. Tony's the one that got it and actually leaked it. He leaked it to Seth.
He gave it to Seth. Correct. And I don't think he leaked it to the YouTubers. I don't think he was the one that leaked it to the public, but he was the one that sent it to Seth. And he apologized to me. He felt really, really bad about it. He said that when Seth told him that neither Chloe or I would give it to him, he said he thought, you know, that it was just cute, that we were just trying to protect him. And I'm like, no, Tony, like there was a bigger reason than that, you know. But
I gotta interrupt. I gotta stand on. Listen, that's not what. No. Back up. We had a conversation. Yeah.
You and I had a conversation.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, about him sending it to Nina. About Seth sending it to Nina. Correct. But then later, when I talked to Tony, Tony told me that he actually sent it to Seth. So that's how Seth got it, was that Tony had sent it to him. But I said, no, you know, I mean, that's fine. I wasn't mad about that, because, you know, Seth, technically he had every right to have it. You know, he was the client. And, you know, if he had, I guess, you know, hounded me enough for it, I probably would have just given it to him. But.
So how did Trevor get it? Did Seth give it to Trevor?
That I don't know. I have no idea. But I mean, I don't think there's any reason to be mad at Trevor about that, though. Really, honestly, not about that. I mean, I don't know if there's other things going on that they're mad about, but that specifically, I don't think that it's any reason to be mad at Trevor.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because even if Seth gave it to Trevor, he shouldn't be mad at Trevor. I'm curious.
It sounds like he's more upset that his mom was sent the clip too. No,
but I don't think it's the same clip.
I think it is.
It is. Yeah.
It is? Okay.
So.
But no, I just, you know, things have transpired and more about that has come out. But I'm not really sure why it's such a big focus. I'm not really sure why we're getting so caught up on it.
Yeah. And yeah.
I mean, so I don't know what Tony's position is, what he's called. I'll just say PR. So the PR was leaking this as well.
I don't want to use the word leak, Justin, because I don't feel that way. He gave it to Seth. And
I thought you gave it to Seth. I'm confused now.
I didn't give it to Seth.
She said
neither Chloe or I gave it to Seth.
All right. Okay. I'm going to leave that at the door, because this is not my panel, and I'm going to respect that.
Now, one of the two of you gave it to Tony?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out, because like in fact, just a while ago, I was going through my emails trying to see if I actually sent it to Tony, which again, I'm not really sure.
Is it? Oh, that's you. You're up. I thought that was the other girl. I'm still looking at you're still trying to come up and you're here. I thought it was Chloe. I don't know why I was thinking that. I was fixing to tell her to come up. She wanted 2 cents. No.
Well,
but how did if you or Chloe didn't give it to her, well, what about Tracy? Could Tracy have given it to her?
No, Tracy hasn't done nothing. She doesn't do anything without clearing it with me first. Yeah, she signed a NDA for me. She don't do anything without talking.
Here's the bottom line. The call, it should have never happened anyway, because Chris, that should have never happened. It should have never even happened, because all the information was out there before y'all even went on panel at Web Sleuths.
Right, and that's what I was trying to explain to you.
I know. So all that should have never even come to that. It's just crazy. All of it's just crazy.
I do have one question for you, Heather, because this has been stewing in my head, and it comes from that conversation to where he was upset about Katie's family's information, which we already knew, which was already shared. In relation, the only thing out of that 3-hour phone call or the live that triggered him was Chloe talking about how people physically came to her that saw his mom parked at washrooms.
Yeah.
I think it's a deflection of direction, but that was just my speculation. I just wanted to know your thoughts on that, because that's how I took it.
I will tell you this, that, and this is not just this case, it's just a general statement. But when people get particularly triggered by certain subjects, those tend to be the subjects that I zone in on.
Yep.
And that's why I've been seeing this as a deflection of making you focus on one thing that they're upset about. In reality, out of that whole interview, there was one particular part that really made a person being triggered very noticeable. I'm not so eloquent with my words right now, but if that makes sense.
Right. And I'm not investigating this case currently, but just from a general standpoint, I think that, when somebody's particularly upset about a specific subject, then that's where, and I think law enforcement is smart enough to know that as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know, Justin, what do you think?
Someone said Josh said Seth gave it to him and he leaked it. They had a conversation, unless that was a joke. Josh said it right on it. Josh said Seth gave it to him and Josh said he leaked it. He said he leaked and that's true. Josh said he leaked. Well, I know you don't like the word, Heather, I'm sorry, but Josh said he put it out there.
I just don't like the word leaked when we're talking about Tony giving it to Seth, because it's not a leak when it went to the client.
Oh, sure.
Well, first of all, I was blamed for this shit by you, Heather. Remember?
Well, yeah, we did talk about that.
And we had a conversation, and I know what that conversation was.
Yeah, and then I deleted because when it came out, when I got the message, it was Terry Lynn just leaked the audio, and I didn't, that was how it was sent to me. So
I don't know Tony. I do not know Tony.
Correct.
I don't know Tony. That was never out of your. That was not what was said. So I want to take that off the board quick.
I'm sorry. What? What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well, you're saying that what I'm saying is that's not who you said to me, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Correct, because when I talked to you, I didn't even know Tony had it, and we were at the point that was very early on that I talked to you. It was before we had gotten to the bottom of anything. So at the point that I talked to you, I think all I knew was that Seth had it and sent it to Nina, but I didn't even know.
Well, when I'm getting stuff that's from an unknown thing, and it wasn't Seth, then how the hell? This don't make any sense. Just saying. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I think it makes perfect sense, actually.
I don't. That man does not have my number. It does. He don't know. I don't know him.
Well,
and this shit was blamed on me.
Josh said
initially it was blamed on you, but I mean that was just because it was. I didn't even realize it came out on the lab first. I just got a message that Terry Lynn just leaked the audio, and I didn't even that's all I knew initially was that you were playing it. I didn't even know it had been out before that at that time.
Josh said he put it out, but he said he didn't give it to Seth's mother. So someone else did that.
This shit apparently was on Twitter and in a Facebook group as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, honestly,
no, that is exactly what come forward. And I guess I was the last one to actually get it.
Yeah, I just don't
yeah.
think I don't think it really matters that much. I think we're getting really caught up on it, and it's just not that important. You know, I mean, Seth got it and he sent it to somebody. Tony had it. Who knows at that point? All I know is that up to that point, it didn't get leaked.
Well, Heather, so I just want to know, like, who? Okay, so you said you was working for Seth, but were you? And so you worked really hard to make a rapport with Chris and them.
Correct.
So is that normal? Like,
absolutely. They, you know, if you're a PI and you're investigating a case, then you need to be able to, especially one like this, you need to be able to talk to everybody. And from the very beginning, Seth wanted me to communicate with them and to be able to talk to them. And so that, I mean, that was a major hurdle. Because our very first encounter was quite confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
They were all confrontational up till about the very end.
Trev Time says, Tony told me I'd be framed for it, and that's what happened.
Tony told him he would be framed for it?
Yes.
And Trev Time wasn't, because I wouldn't even know how to reach this guy. And this is just crazy.
But I just don't even understand. I don't even understand why it's such a big deal. I don't understand why.
I think it's because, you know, Trevor's getting, you know,
blamed
a lot of
it.
flack. Yeah.
But I mean, blamed for it. Like, who? Look, if Seth, how do I say this? If Seth would send it to Nina and it would become public information, then, you know, at that point that it becomes court record, it would be public information. So anybody could have gotten it. So the idea of it being leaked, you know, at that point, anybody, it's the point is moot. I mean, it really is, because at the point that it became public information, then it's really not sensitive, is it?
Well, I think it has more of the principle of malicious intent behind some creators that really put their all into it. I think that's the bottom line on why people are so upset on that. But I think Seth is more upset that, because that would be like somebody blaming it on you, and your hands are clean and you don't have a track record of doing A, B, and C, but yet you get a lot of hate because you know how social media will go. One hit, everybody jumps on like a pack of dogs.
I mean, it's kind of like, I've seen Heather say, like, she has to come out and make a statement because now it's putting her, or something to that effect, in the Facebook group, because now it's putting her license at stake or something. I mean, it's kind of the same way, because, you know, I mean,
it could have if somebody from, like, say Tracy, if Tracy had done it, then I could be in big trouble for that, you know, because the moment that my client sends it to somebody else and it becomes public record, then it's my license is no longer in danger, because the only person I owe a duty of confidentiality to is my client. So if my client is sending it out, then that confidentiality was not broken and I'm not at risk.
Right. But I mean, the same thing kind of goes for Trev Time or anybody else, you know, Trev, me, anybody. I mean, you shouldn't have to feel blackmailed in this case to either step back or step down because somebody don't like something or don't want you searching or snooping or doing this. You know, I mean, it's the same thing.
I don't know. Heather may have not been. She may have not known.
No, I'm not saying her. I'm just saying.
No. What I'm saying is, did you see what happened earlier on here?
I did. Okay, I got a Facebook message. The message was actually that Seth was bashing us, and I was like, "What?" So I jumped on, and so yeah, I caught the very end of it. But no, obviously he was not bashing us, and that was cleared up, you know, afterward. But
yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I'm good with everybody. You know, I talked to Tony. I haven't talked to Chloe recently, but I think we're good. There's nobody that I have an issue with in all of this.
Yeah.
And I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
But it's kind of difficult with you know, things the way they are. But
I mean, I can understand you. You're in a very delicate situation there.
Well, I guess I'm kind of not anymore, because I'm not really even working the case at the moment. I'm still on standby if he needs me. But I guess his focus has shifted, and I do, like I said, I agree with the things that Tony has said to me in private conversation about, you know, just getting everybody focused and getting everybody in their own lane. And, you know, this person does this person does that. That's your assignment. Don't cross over in other people's lanes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very intelligent way. You know, maybe he doesn't have experience in this type of work. You know, I think we can all agree, you know, with Riley Strain being not Riley Strain, Caleb Harris being his first case. You know, he is new to the game, but we all have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, and what he has said to me makes sense. And I don't know. I mean, all that other stuff. Oh, my dog is going crazy. Hey, stop. Another dog was walking by the window. You know, all this other stuff, I don't know. I don't want to comment on it. It is what it is. You know, the public's, the majority, at least, you know, they're intelligent people and they can figure things out on their own. And, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but his ideas of how to straighten this case up, I don't think are really all that off.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Whether he does it or somebody else does it, it doesn't really it needs to be done. Like there needs to be a general and there needs to be the people, you know, this is how he said it to me. He's like, there needs to be a general and then there needs to be a PI and then there needs to be a SARTEC and then, you know, everybody needs to have their lanes and they need to stay in their lanes.
Yeah.
Tony said gloves are off, and then the call was leaked. Heather gave it to Tony. Tony gave it to Seth.
No, that's not what I was told. So I'm gonna. No, that's not what I was told.
I don't think Seth leaked it.
Okay, it was never given to Tony. That's the first time I'd ever heard that shit. So that's that. Okay, and I don't even know Tony. So that's the truth. Let's talk the truth. Stop the bullshit.
So who's he did mention?
Josh leaked it, but it's who sent it to his mom.
It's ridiculous. It was sent to probably 6 or 7 people. It was in a Facebook group. It was in a damn Twitter. I don't, whatever.
Okay, so let's just squash the call thing. This is what happened.
Okay, tell us.
Okay, that call that was recorded, that was between Chris and Heather, who was just up here, was sent to Seth initially from Heather. He had asked for it for a while. They did not give it to him. He finally got it. He's their client. He demanded it. She gave it to him. He had it. He sent it to multiple people. He sent it to Nina for her court hearing. So I heard it, and Josh heard it. I let him hear it. So we both heard it. Okay, that's where we are right now. We had both heard it. That's where it stands. It wasn't anywhere yet. Okay. Then I go back and look at who emailed it. It was emailed from a woman named Michaela to Seth to Nina. Now, Michaela is the same woman that was answering Seth's phone when he would, or would be in the background of Seth's phone when he called me at midnight. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. So she's the one who sent it, and she sent it to Seth, I guess, who they forwarded it through each other's phones to send it to Nina. Okay. Well, somebody got it to Terry Lynn. I don't speak to Terry Lynn. You know who does? Seth's mother.
No, that's what I was about to say. I don't speak to you. I don't even know how to reach you. I really don't. I back what you've done and the law that you got passed on Facebook. I don't know nothing else and no other way to reach you. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
I don't know what the hell.
You can confirm that I did not send you that, correct?
155,000% on my mama and my dead dad. This is ridiculous. That's why I'm not gonna, a woman that's grieving, I'm not gonna shit on, but this is ridiculous as hell.
Okay, so there we're at that point. It was then sent to her. I'm not asking who sent it to you, but I'm just confirming that it was not me. Josh had heard it. Josh then had a conversation with Seth, and this is what Josh confirmed earlier to my knowledge. He had a conversation with Seth, and Seth pushed him to play. He told him he could play it. He told him he should play it. So Josh put it out, and then whoever sent it to Terry Lynn, again, I'm not asking you to source that, but whoever sent it to you then gave it to you and you put it out. So we had 2 people that put it out and had pushed it out. There's that link in there is that person that had been with Seth had also had possession of it. I don't know if she sent it to who or who sent it around, but that's how it moved around. I am friends with Chloe. Chloe is a friend of mine. I have known her before this case. Why on God's green earth would I want a call across all the interwebs that is her being absolutely talked down to by Chris? That makes no sense. Why would I say, here, this is a great friend of mine. Let me just have her bash across the internet. No. Secondly, Tony told me I was going to do it for clout. I have a YouTube channel that I don't use anymore. If I wanted it for clout, I probably would have put it out myself, not said, here's some other people who can put it out and release it, whatever, leak it. It didn't happen that way. Tony called me because he was upset that I made a comment to him that I didn't like them getting rid of Chloe. And I didn't. And that's my opinion. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people disagreed, whatever. He then told me that he knows that I put it out. And then they told me that they were going to expose Chloe. They were going to come after me if I said another word about Tony publicly. And what they do tonight, exactly that. I'm not asking anybody to believe me, but that's what happened. I don't speak to Terry Lynn. I don't have any way to send it to her. I don't want Chloe to be disparaged across the internet. I would never put a recording of her out there like that. It just doesn't make sense that I would be the one that did that because I didn't.
No, I got nothing from you. I don't even know how to reach you. I don't. And I did reach out to Heather when my name was brought into that equation because, I mean, I was live and I was getting bombarded. So yeah, I did reach out to her and said, because of course they're saying that there's a Facebook post or whatever, and that Facebook post was a lie because.
So who sent? I'm wondering who sent it to Seth's mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
That seems who he's worried, like mad about, from what it feels like.
Yeah. Check the Facebook. I mean, check those. There's Facebook groups, and I need you to check the Twitter.
Well, I'm telling you, the people that had it before it made it out to Nina, before it made it out to anyone like that, was Seth and this woman whatever the equation is, that's at his house at midnight all the time. These two, Seth, I saw the email chain. This woman, Michaela, had it and sent it. They sent it between each other's phones, and then they sent it to Nina.
So
She didn't
Seth
send it to
sent it
me.
out to people. Seth sent it out to people, and
He
they could
did
have sent
not
it to
send that to
anybody.
me. He did not send that to me. Again, on my mom, Seth did not send that to me. I haven't spoken to him.
Nina did not leak it. They got it like the day before her court date, and she was in court all day.
He did not send. Seth didn't send me that. This is just nope. And neither did
No,
this
I'm
guy
not saying
here.
Seth sent it to you. I'm saying that Seth had
I
it
don't
and
even
he
know
initially
who sent it
distributed it.
to the lab. The copy that I got was, well, this it was. You could barely. It's inaudible for me.
Well, here's okay. So if Seth is telling Josh to play it, then he wants it out there. So why doesn't he just say, I wanted it out there? It didn't make him look bad. It made Chris look bad. My question is, if he wants to make Chris look bad and want that recording out there, then why hide behind somebody else putting it out there? Say you did it. If you wanted it out there, then say you did. Because I didn't want it out there. Not because I care for Chris, but because I care for Chloe.
Yeah, his mom was in my chat when I was trying to play it. That's true. But it was not a good, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I didn't even hear all the threats in it. Just saying.
And I get it. Seth is a grieving father, but you know who's not? Tony. Tony has no excuse for the crap he's pulling. The misinformation that came out the other night, and then now all this, calling me and telling me that he knows that I put it out, and them telling people to tell me that if I speak again badly about him, that they're going to expose Chloe and they're going to come after me, and that they know I did this. That I don't see how that's okay. Tony is not the grieving father in all of this. He brought himself in here, inserted himself with zero credentials, zero experience, and is tearing this case apart, imploding it from the middle, and trying to bring on people who have no business being here, and throwing out all the people who have tried to help.
So Trevor, did he contact you after you come up here tonight?
Nobody contacted me after I came up here. Well, I mean, a lot of people have, but not them.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
They have not spoken to me, no. Not since the night. Okay, so another full disclosure. The morning of the Pascal show, they went on that night. They were initially going to release the DCS records. Somebody called the office, and they pulled it back and said, you can't do that. So morning of, that's when the announcement came out that Chloe was let go. I spoke to Tony. I just sent a message, and I said, I think this is a bad decision. He called me and was upset with me because apparently I went to him. He has no business in personnel decisions, whatever. He was upset with me, told me about the call, and told me I need to stay in my own lane, that I have an agenda, the whole shebang. Then the day goes on, and then the Pascal show happens. And Tony had told me that morning that he would defend Chloe.
Yeah.
Because we agreed that she's a good person and she did good work, even though they decided to let her go. And that's only their decision to let her go. When he says, I said, I respect your decision, but can she at least get respect because that's what she deserves? He said, oh yeah, I'll make sure she's defended. I defend Heather, I defend Chloe, I was like, okay, good. They go on the Pascal show, she's immediately thrown under the bus. So I sent that super chat and I corrected the record and said that Chloe is a great PI, a great human being, and a great investigator, and this is not okay to do. So after the show ended, I get a group chat made with me, Tony, and Seth. Tony put it together, put us all in there, and went after me again, saying that I had an agenda, that nobody has an agenda, but I do. That I need to go to Seth about personnel decisions. He just does everything Seth tells him. All of this, and that's where all this came from. And then I spoke out about it. Like past couple of days, I've said things about it publicly, and then I get this mysterious, if you keep talking bad about Tony, they're going to expose Chloe and they're going to do this, and there's nothing to expose Chloe about. I know multiple families that will attest to all the work she does for free for them, and there's nothing to expose me about because I didn't leak a call and I didn't do any of this stuff. It didn't happen. But they were going to frame me for it, and this is what happened.
Right.
So Jay for Justice makes a good point. Why would Grandma care how Chris talked to Chloe to warrant that kind of anger? Red flag.
It was in my chat when I was playing it.
Grandma was?
Yes, but the audio was so crappy.
I was in there too. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then Josh went live after that.
Is this This is not the investigation she works for, right?
No, she has her own firm. Heather has her own firm here. Yeah. Totally separate. Steve Fisher is not the same as Heather's firm.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I just want to be sure.
But someone did speak with Heather, and she told them that, I'm sure. I mean, a lot of people work together and stuff, but they're not the same firm. Heather did tell someone, though, that Seth admitted to her long before that, all this happened, that he leaked it. He told her that. And I'm sure she doesn't want to come out and do that because I know that was her client. I'm not saying she should, but he told her that.
Can you pop that back up?
She told someone that Seth told her that he's the one who leaked it. And I just don't know why he can't just own that. If he pushed it out, that's fine. Again, I'm not saying that, should have protected Christian and put it out, whatever. That wasn't my business about who got the call. But it's not, I didn't do that. It didn't make any sense.
Heather says I didn't send it to Seth.
That's my technicality question.
But you told me you sent it to Seth. Just saying.
Just said that.
Why wouldn't Heather send it to Seth? That's her client.
She said, Heather, that's what you told me you did.
I thought, did she not say she said it? I thought she said
she was checking her email. She didn't know.
She told me she sent it to Seth.
I mean,
that's
Seth got
it.
it somehow.
She told me she sent it to Seth. So that's where I stand. I don't know Tony. I don't know nothing about any of this stuff. And at this point, I'm done with it. I'm over it. This drama.
Tony told you he sent it to Michaela's email. Who's he? That Tony did or that Seth did? Because it was in Michaela's email. I mean, I have a screenshot of the email log, how it moved through to Nina. and Michaela's name's on there. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be up here any longer. That's the story. People can believe it or not. Tony is imploding this case in the middle, and I hope people wake up before it just blows to pieces, because Sebastian needs to be found. The adults take second to this. I'm sorry, but they do. This has been a cluster. Sebastian needs to be the focus. He needs to be found. I'm going to get back to doing what I'm doing behind the scenes, because apparently being out here is making this a mess. So thanks, guys, for letting me be up here in your time.
Oh,
It's a mess.
Thank you, Trev.
Anytime, Trev. Thank you.
We become emotionally mama bear when it comes into these scenarios of the children. So if it wasn't for you guys, a lot of people wouldn't have seen it. I haven't been using my channel. I've been just in the background trying to do research and help.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Trevor Lee getting it out there and all the connections that he did have,
Yes,
Sebastian's
Trev was
name
the
would
one
not
that
be out there.
Yeah.
Trev was the one that started talking about Sebastian when there was because I'm on for Trev, that when there was 40 people in there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the popular case. You know, not a lot of people knew about it.
I agree, but I think that the focus doesn't need to be taken off of Sebastian. All this right here
100%.
is deter everything. Like, we've been sent on some rabbit chases. We have.
Yes.
But we chased those damn rabbits. You know, I was like, we're going to chase the damn rabbits. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those things that I wish that stuff like this didn't happen.
Yeah, me too. The focus has got to be put on Sebastian, back on him, period. Terry and all them is out there looking daily. They have to be praised. They have to be encouraged. It's not easy work, you know, and if you can't do the work, at least you can do the flyers. You can pass out. You can talk about. You can advocate. Please do so.
Stop you. I was in 4th grade. Go to their website. There is still a young lady on their site yet to be found. She was a friend, not a friend, my friend. Her name is Michelle. It's her sister. Her sister's name is Diane. That lady is still missing. Still.
Oh, there's a lot.
Sumner County is inept, and I'm just going to say what's that and leave it there.
I'll put in Hawkins with you, in my opinion.
Well, there's another one. Look up the judicial system, the 13th judicial system. Look at all those parents that want justice for their kids, yet to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been super quiet lately.
Who?
Wonder if his nails CP.
Okay.
For him.
Did y'all catch when it was me and another young lady? Her name's Erin. She's a good girl. We brought her dog Huckleberry out. We spoke to an autistic, high functioning autistic young man that works at Lowe's.
Uh-huh.
And he said a lot about like when he would get mad. When he would get mad at his mom or his dad, he would run off like to the woods. And I said, well, how long would you stay gone? Oh, about 20 or 30 minutes. And I thought, okay. And he even said this. He said, they should hire me. And I thought, you know what? You're onto something there. They should, you know what? Maybe you should be. Because he had his own ideas.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? He's not wrong. He is. And he was like, I can help. Because I know what it's like to be different. And I thought, wow, you know, we're all different. But I got what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I got it. And I was like, you know what? He's pretty right here. This young man is for real. And he could give a little bit to this, probably a lot more than a little bit. And could be a lot of help. He's local.
Yeah.
And he also knows what he does when he got mad at that age. At that age, how when things weren't right or he was feeling away, how he would do what he did.
Yeah.
And he would come back, you know, but his place was the woods. And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
The woods. And I was like, the woods. Because he always said the woods. And I thought, you know what? This is kind of, okay, I get it. And I have talked to some of the classmates, some that have graduated that knew him, meaning that they knew Sebastian in school.
Yeah.
And they spoke about, you know, what they knew about him. Even teachers. And when you're crowdsourcing, you run into a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Not knowing that you're going to run into them.
Yeah.
And eventually, I probably need to pass this on first, but there was a phone call that same day by someone it was a teacher's aide. And it would be very odd to mention this, and I'm going to say this, but why would anyone find out if there's a worker at the construction site next door missing. That's an
Oh,
odd thing. And that would be the least on my mind if I'm actually worried about my baby missing.
yeah.
Someone mentioned that, or a school, someone within the school quitting or leaving recently as well.
So there's a lot of talk that is going on. And you run into these teachers that do talk.
Yeah.
Which construction company did they mention?
Mm-hmm. The homes that are being built next door to the subdivision.
It's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I thought that was different, a little odd.
Yeah.
Which makes me.
Another teacher said that they need to redo this whole thing, all of it, redo from the start all over.
Now that I agree with. Yeah.
He said because this is all of this is off. Nothing makes sense. They were very aware of who Sebastian was, and they actually had a child that had just graduated themselves, and they again were a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a live the other day, and I said exactly the same thing. I said they need to redo it.
I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't agree more, and especially as we were talking about earlier, certain things that triggered certain people, especially after that comment.
Yeah,
that's normally where you need to lead. Because then that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
and without saying it, the connections there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I agree with Rach. Is the IEP team in Sebastian's files that she brought up on Justin's live last night?
Yeah,
I completely agree with that because I go through that with my daughter. It's a guidance counselor, it's a psychologist, it's a social worker.
Yeah.
It's a whole team that evaluate your child from the day they get enrolled all the way until college even.
Absolutely.
And they keep that file, and it starts quarterly meetings, and then it becomes every 6 months. Right now, I've reached into the every 6 months with my daughter.
Yeah.
But everything's in there, and they send you home with a stack this thick just from that meeting of all the evaluations that your child has had.
Yep.
That's got to have a lot in it to reference.
Absolutely. Yep.
I have mine recorded. Every IEP meeting I had of my daughters, they're recorded. Every one of them. I was just listening to some of those the other morning, just to kind of go over them because her principal passed, and there was one teacher that was a real shit, and I wanted him to. My daughter, like others, she belongs everywhere, everywhere. And I was not going to allow her to be treated the way that they were trying to treat her.
Yeah.
But I recorded every one of them. Every single one of them I recorded, and I still have boxes in storage. Oh, gosh, of all of the IEP files, all of her work, because that kid worked her ass off.
Yeah.
And you have to be that advocate. If you forget it, if you think that they'll just, some parents will, No, sometimes you have to go in there like a bear.
Yep. I had to do that. And I even switched schools multiple times because I've had schools flat out tell me, we don't handle that here.
Yeah, you do. I did that in Knox County, and I told them I would own their asses. I certainly did.
Yeah.
And see, my biggest battle was my daughter was bilingual. They tried to blame it on that and not let her be evaluated.
That pisses me off too there. I get really involved in that stuff because you know what? Every kid is special. We're not alike. Not one single soul walking here is the same.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us all different and special.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together today. And thank you for all the kind people that has surrounded Sebastian's case. I know there has been months that it's not been so nice, but it shows all the love that Sebastian does have. And please be with Seth and Katie and Chris too.
But now
please watch over
my
Sebastian
chains
wherever he's
are
at.
gone. I've been set free.
Watch over everybody
My
tomorrow.
God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a blood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace.
That's my favorite one right there. If y'all have not heard that version of Amazing Grace, you're missing out. I'm gonna tell you. People want to let you know that they're praying for you.
Thank you.
He said thank you. Message. I gave it.
More prayers.
More prayer.
The louder God will answer us.
Yes, prayer. There you go. So we got that, okay? We got it. Thank y'all. And then I'm going to show you. God, that breaks my heart right there. Is that not a lot of bikes? Let's see what else we got going on. Okay. We got some more, folks. Let's see if I notice this stranger. Do I know you?
I think you do. Possibly.
I do. I like you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Been up for over 24 hours, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, dude. We got this.
All day, every day. I might need another one.
Do I know you?
The rumors are going to start.
Oh, shit. Get away from me. Get away.
We share a bed. I don't know what kind of bed she's got, but we supposed to share.
We don't share that. That's a lie.
She hasn't been in my house.
I've never been to his house. He's never been to my house. So let's see. They're getting loud. They're getting loud, guys. They're getting loud.
Loud for a reason. Loud for what?
Loud pipes save lives.
No, Charlie, no, that's Mr. J. That's not Charlie. No, that's Miss Jones and me. You know, Miss Jones and me. Okay.
Give me your titty.
What?
Give me your titty.
Which one do you want?
Which one's your party tit?
My what?
Your party tit. Left or right?
I don't know.
Right. That's gonna be your party titty today.
I don't know.
Gave you one. Left or right?
All right, and what they're doing is they're putting, I don't know if y'all can see it, but they're putting these on us here. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. All right. Letting y'all get your butts in here. And yeah, they do got some music playing, which I don't care. And that is Eye of the Tiger. What's them pearls? You better grab those pearls. Thank you for that, Justin. I was like, I don't know who that is, and because I can barely see y'all, and that's the truth. I can't see crap. And then I want to start singing this song, so I'm kind of like screwed all the way around. And I'm about to start singing it anyways. Thank y'all. I can't see y'all, but I appreciate y'all. I really do. But if y'all know if I start singing, don't say nothing. I don't care if y'all like my songs or not. But, you know, for 2 nights searching for this child, I played this song. And I did. And it was cold. And that's a fact. So what? I had the windows down and I was playing it. Thank you y'all for this. Because they didn't have to do this. Thank you. We got a woman here. That's badass. Y'all got to give that to this woman. Thank y'all. Wowzer. She is riding. Thank you. You too. Thank y'all. Thank you. Wowza. And they deserve that. Look at this. This is nice. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. They're gonna all start to leave and we'll get started. It's awesome. I mean, you would never think. It makes you want to cry, and I'm trying not to. Because y'all know I'm a titty baby. Yes, it is. But I'm trying not to. And then when you see this in the back, it brings Sebastian home. I mean, I am a titty baby. And I don't want to do that. We got another one going. We got more taking off here. Thank y'all. Be safe. Here they go. Here they go. Here they go. I think it's gone great. I mean, in my opinion, that's a lot of people that have turned out for this. A lot.
I think so.
I mean, a lot of people turned out for this.
I got a picture of before we launched.
Before? Let's see what you got. Let's see. He's got a launch picture.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Let's see.
There it is. I was at the rudder.
That's a lot.
Well,
Wow.
over 200 people.
Wow.
May the office serve to purify our hearts, refine our spirits, that we may emerge as gold tested by fire, worthy of thy kingdom. Yet in the midst of our grace, yet in the midst of our fear and trembling, we find solace in thy boundless mercy and grace. For though we are but dust and ashes, thou hast not abandoned us to the flames of destruction, but hast offered us a lifeline of hope through thy Son, Jesus Christ. Teach us, O Lord, to cling to this hope with unwavering faith, to trust in thy promises, even when the world around us crumbles. And as we journey through the valley of tears, let us not walk alone, but as a community of believers, bound together by our shared quest for salvation. Help us to lift each other up in the time of trials. We bear one another's burdens and strive together in the work of thy building, thy kingdom on earth. For we know that it is only through our collective efforts, guided by the Holy Spirit, that we may hope to enter into the joys of thy eternal presence. So hear our prayer, O Lord, and in thy mercy, guide us ever closer to thee, that we may dwell in the light of thy countenance forevermore. Amen.
Amen. That's Mr. J. Seth,
Yes, Miss Terry.
they want me to hug you. There's the hug. Y'all got it. It's like I've hugged him before, but
We just need to bring Sebastian home.
yeah.
That's it. We just need to bring my son home.
That's all he's asking. Bring his son home. That's it. Loves it.
Selling your sons? Is anybody still selling them?
I can give you one. If you want to walk up here, I'll give you one. This is my mobile command center for right now. There's that one. And then there's that. You are welcome. All right. And she's taking her yard sign. Thank you. Okay. Let's watch them go. Yes, 615 Nashville. Yes, very beautiful. It's bringing a community together. These people aren't from Hendersonville. There's a lot that this will help find him. It's awareness, y'all. For anybody that's asking, that right there will help awareness. Those people came from Nashville. They didn't have to come here. They came here. They came here, y'all, on their own. They didn't have to do this. I'm thankful. That's what you be thankful for, is that people are spreading the word. And I stand strongly on that. We got a man on a grill. What do y'all think? They're making it the awareness known. They're in. I've already showed that fella already. If I find him again, I'll show you. I gotta find him all over again. Over here, right. So yeah, it was a great turnout, y'all. There's people that are still, they have their motorcycles, they're still down there. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to chase people down. Y'all got me looking crazy. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say I love y'all. This has been a beautiful turnout. It really has. I mean, you don't get this much. I mean, and these are just what's left, because there was over 200 plus people on bikes. So I'm gonna say I love y'all. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. This is about this child. This is bringing people together. You know, this is about that right there. It's unifying people. So before I leave, I'm gonna, you know, before I leave, I'm gonna say hi to everybody that I haven't got to say hi to. I mean, this man, I think, has been the one. We've got people that have been out here that have been cooking. I mean, that have donated their time. You know. I mean, there's so much. I mean, we got him another hat there. So we have others that have hello and welcome. But yeah, this is about Sebastian. That right there. That's who it's about right there. And then just be thankful that everybody showed up for a child. That's what this was about. This is about unification and about bringing a little boy home.
To weigh in on your life and have a say when they're really just strangers that don't know anything about you. And, you know, I've put a lot of assumptions on you. It's got to be absolutely like you've entered reverso weirdo land for you.
Well, it's actually, so we've sat back for so long, been quiet and reserved and whatnot. Now I've gotten a lot of messages from strangers, people I've never met before, and they're like, "Have you seen what's going on?" I'm like, "No, what's going on?" They're like, everybody's turning on each other. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, this person's blaming this person. This person. I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Okay, guys, so we have tons to go over, so let's get right into it. Let's start out with talking about what Smiley was going to go over in her live before the trolls came in. So she was going over some ideas about victimhood. So brownie points for victimhood. Where it sounds like she was going with it is that you can choose to be a victim or you can choose to lace your boots back up and get back out there. And so sometimes there are people out there that thrive off of other people's sympathy, other people's pity on them, and they'll throw their own pity party. And I see this connection with Katie Proudfoot and also with Chris. Chris is more of a shit starter, and then he steps back and says, "Oh, why is everybody mad at me?" Katie, on the other hand, who undeniably has generational trauma, I'm not above that, but I'm just calling it how I see it. This may be the reason why Katie gravitates towards people who are abusive or those who don't have her best interest at heart and are more focused on meeting their own needs rather than being there for someone like Katie who has gone through so much in her lifetime. And I know that in the movies, it's portrayed that there's this girl, she's being abused, and she meets this great guy and he takes her away. That doesn't happen in real life. And unfortunately, if you want to find someone who is going to better your life and your situation, you have to better your life and your own situation first. And then you'll start attracting nicer people. But sometimes, as we're working on ourselves, we are attracting people still that are abusive, but we can't see it. Or they are love bombing us so hard that we fall for them and they have only their interests at heart when we think that they have our interests at heart. Now, when we're listening to the call that Josh from the lab put out that I included in the video when Chris is going crazy about Chloe PI and her making the statement that she made about the information that she did not put out regarding Katie's family. In the call, what really gave me pause was when Katie was explaining what happened to her and how it affected her and how horrible it was for her. Chris was like, it is what it is. And honestly, it isn't just it is what it is. What it is some sick person decided to hurt somebody who is a little child and who cannot give consent and who should not be forced to do anything that they don't want to do, especially when they're just a child and they have no idea really what is happening. It's all abusive, coercive power and control, and it's all a part of the same dynamics that are present in domestic violence situations, as well as when people have their innocence stolen at a young age or any time in life where someone has been violated in such a manner. But it is the most heinous when it comes to a child. And as people grow with this trauma, it causes us to make bad decisions. It causes us to not value ourselves, not see our worth, and it causes people to sometimes even blame themselves. So there is a heavy element of guilt and shame associated with this. sometimes people will know that it's not their fault and they will understand that. But a lot of times they will blame themselves for these horrific acts that someone else bestowed upon them. And when we look at that dynamic, it's not hard to see how a person may go from being in a heavy trauma situation to meeting somebody, and the mere fact that they feel safe with this individual is enough for them to think that this might be their chance at happiness. But oftentimes, narcissistic people will sniff this type of person who is very vulnerable, very raw, and very hurt out, and they will take advantage of that situation. They become awesome listeners who are basically searching for information so that they can and will use it against you later. And in these situations, it is ultra toxic because you have someone who already has a very fragile psyche, who is being torn down all the time by their partner. And I know that we do not have any evidence of this. Katie denies it at all costs, but there is no way in hell that you are going to get me to agree to or to believe that Mr. Chris doesn't belittle, mistreat, or even possibly hit Katie. Emotional scars and emotional trauma is sometimes worse because it's something that we cannot see. After all, we do know what his history is and how he asserts his authority. People either want to speak out about it, or it makes some people want to sink back into their shell where they can feel safe and where they can feel like their privacy is their privacy, where they can have dignity. And I believe that we are all entitled to handle those situations where there is trauma in a way that we see fit as long as it's healthy. And there are so many resources out there. There are so many people that you could sit with and listen to their story and know that you aren't the only one who has ever had to endure this. And so I truly believe that it's a good thing to have a support system of people who you know and trust, who you can talk to about situations that are happening, and so that it can take a little bit of a load off of you. Of course, you don't want to use your friends as therapists. You want to get into a good therapy program or even start going to maybe a group therapy setting where you can discuss these issues with other people. I always preferred a one-on-one type of counseling, and that is what I usually would seek out. Group settings to me are a little bit harder. Sometimes you can share your story and people will understand, but in cases like this, there is a lot of criticism. And even when it came to Chris's reaction to what his wife was setting with her emotional state, he basically cringed at her and he didn't want to hear about it. And then he made some underhanded comment about him not having a GoFundMe. And just to me, I just don't see how Katie can ever heal from these situations dealing with somebody like Chris Proudfoot. And then, even more so, and more importantly, Sebastian and his emotional dysregulation issues, and the fact that he was a 15-year-old growing up, in his split home where he would go to his dad's and there'd be different rules, where he'd go to his mom and stepdad's home and there would be different rules and routine. And so I can't imagine what that might have done to stress Sebastian out, to overstimulate him, and maybe even sometimes make him feel like he didn't belong anywhere. And that brings me to another point about children with autism or children with special needs. I follow a lady who has a daughter. Well, she has 3 kids, and her little daughter Winnie is the youngest, and she was born with Down syndrome. She is the cutest little ball of sunshine that I have ever seen. She is always destroying milestones that were told to her parents that she never would accomplish. And her mother is super proud of her, and she makes videos and posts them. I don't think she wants people really sharing them out, but a lot of the content that she puts out is showing what Winnie can do, and her accounts of what she was told by medical professionals, and even some of the hate comments that she has gotten from people telling her that Winnie should never have been born. And in my opinion, if you've never had a chance to meet someone with special needs, I would highly recommend getting involved with people in your community, because you will start to realize that there are people out there that are so absolutely unique and wonderful, and basically a walking miracle. And that's what little Winnie is. She's a walking miracle. She's always, like I said, just smashing anything that's put in front of her. I think her latest is high-fiving. But they said a lot of things about Winnie and what her limitations would be, and none of it was true. When it comes to the way that some of the public views people with special needs, it is absolutely revolting. And I was really glad that Terry Lynn and Guidance were speaking on this, on their personal experiences, because it really goes to show that there are so many parents out there that know in their heart, because they know their kids, that their kids belong everywhere. But we have a small amount of people who think that being different is a problem. And I don't know how to fix that. But I do know that it's very eye-opening when you try to get to know people on a more personal level before you start making snap judgments. As we heard about in the video, as a parent, as a mother, you want to be the advocate for your children. So instead of saying, well, nobody wants my kid around, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's very hurtful. I would be pissed. I would feel the need to do as much as I could to make sure that my child was accepted, that she was involved, and that she did have those feelings of connection, love, and belonging in the community with friends and things like that. So it's very important for mothers to advocate for their children with special needs and your children in general, because if we don't advocate for our children, then who will? And who can you trust more to advocate for your children than yourself? It takes a strong mother with a strong will. It also takes a level of understanding, self awareness, and personal responsibility, which we see that Katie lacks this. And I say this because she has initiated a restraining order, RO, against one of the YouTube creators on this platform. And I don't believe that it's warranted. I believe that Katie should be spending her time in more productive ways, like looking for her son. And with that being said, I wanted to go back to how the public wanted so badly for Seth to hire a PR person or a spokesperson. And this was being heavily pushed in chats such as Pascal Show, because of the Riley Strain case, because Riley Strain had a spokesperson. He was a family friend, and he would come on and speak on behalf of the family. I honestly didn't think that he did a fine job, in my opinion. I thought he was kind of a wacky character guy, seemed like he was more interested in talking about himself than about the case. And so I was a bit frustrated there. Now, when Tony came on and Pascal hooked Tony up with Seth, that was confirmed on allegedly with Brittany J. Now, this was controversial to begin with because Pascal was swearing up and down that this was not a match made by him. However, I was in his chats and very active in his community at this time, and I can tell you with full certainty that I've seen it with my own two eyes that this connection was made through Pascal. And so I don't know why it's so secretive or it's being essentially lied about, but it was confirmed. And so moving right along to Miss Michaela, aka Wreck-It Rhonda. Now, one thing I do want to say again as a precursor, I've said it in a previous video. Gentlemen, if you're not treating your women the right way and they decide that they may go looking for someone else, those things happen. And so you might want to make sure you're watering that grass so the grass is growing and everything is all good, because women will leave a situation when they don't feel like their needs are being met. I believe it's probably the same for a man, but I'm not a man, so I wouldn't know. Now, with that being said, I believe that Michaela was just along for the ride and along for the notoriety that she got, the information that was being given to and through her, as we heard about Trevor Lee talking about how the emails were being sent to her. So she was helping Seth out. They were clearly in a relationship. I don't spend time at someone's house in the middle of the night unless I'm in a relationship with them. So that's the only gauge that I can put out there. But I wouldn't say that T Rev stole her away from Seth. I think that she went willingly, and I think that she was just maybe just a fickle girl who didn't really know what she wanted. She probably wanted to help. I mean, it's in most women's nature. If we see someone who is wounded, we want to fix it. And that might be the case with her, that she is someone who was just trying to fix a situation, but she got in a little bit too in over her head. At any rate, I do believe that T Rev was one of the snakes that Seth was talking about. And I have seen people in different chats change their tune as they move from chat to chat. So that is definitely something that happens regularly on YouTube. And it's very hard to stand on your own convictions, your own morals and values in an environment where people will jump your shit if you do try to stand your ground. And I think it's really important to find good communities where you can express your opinions and you can speak freely. And I try to build that community for each and every one of you. Even if I don't like a certain comment or agree with it, I'm not going to censor them heavily. It would have to be very much hate speech for me to not allow it on my page or on one of my video comments. We don't have to agree to kick it, guys. If you disagree with something that I have to say, that is just par for the course, and it's actually highly accepted by me because I love hearing other people's opinions and points of view. It's just like if you look at a beautiful piece of art, or maybe it's a beautiful piece of art to you and it's crap to someone else. It's still amazing to hear other people's perspectives, other people's ideas, and I believe that's how we can and will solve this case, is if we all get together and compare notes and stand united. I know there are people out there that are 100% against Tony Mathis. I know I do not particularly like Tony Mathis. I think that he is very creepy, and on allegedly with Brittany, he also lied and tried to say that someone overlaid the peen, and we all know that that's not true. I do heavy editing, and that's what takes me so long to get these videos out, is because I'm always editing and I'm always adding in my own kind of flair to the videos. And so it takes a long time. But even in my last video where I showed the ice sculpture peen, it was extremely hard for me to make that flow through in a way that would be how it was when Tony used the bathroom on his live and there was the green screen peen malfunction. No matter what Tony tells you, there's no way that anybody could do such an overlay job unless they were maybe Steven Spielberg. I don't know. but at the end of the day, I just know that I don't respect people who want to lie. It's again about personal responsibility and owning your actions. Even if it's an accident, you should still own it and be like, yes, this is what happened. I didn't want that to happen. It was an accident, and just own it. And that would have went so far with everyone. I think if he would have gotten on and owned up to what happened, it would just make people give him maybe even a modicum of respect back. And because he didn't, it just kind of tears down any respect that I could have had, especially in this case where we have seen nothing but deception, nothing but scathing personal responsibility, and nothing but nonsense. It would have been nice to see someone raise their hand and say, I'm wrong, or I did wrong, or this is how I'm going to make things right. Sebastian deserves it. He deserves better than what has been happening. Which leads me to our last clip that I included, and it was from Queen Bee, and it was Chris Proudfoot relishing the fact that everyone is at each other's throats because of the deception, the chaos, the misinformation that has been presented from day one. And they choose to go on a drama channel so that they can feel like they are safe. They were just pouring over Chris and Katie the entire live. And those creators are what really inspired the polished turds Chris and Katie Proudfoot story, because they're out there telling them to continue to do wrong and acting as if they are doing right by Sebastian, which they are not. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today in this raw narrative. I hope you will join me next time. I hope you will like and subscribe. Lady Justice is blind, but we are not. Lady Justice listens carefully, and so should we. I love you all so very much. Stay safe out there. And stay tuned because this part 5 is going to be a doozy.